Have you injured yourself playing a sport or exercising? Sports medicine experts at TJ Regional Health are trained to get you back on the road to recovery, whether you're dealing with sprains, fractures, knee and shoulder injuries, or other common injuries. Our goal is to prevent illness and injury in active individuals of all ages and help prevent future problems to maximize your performance. Find out more at tjregionalhealth.org/rehab. Patients first, team always. TJ Rehabilitation Services.
WCLU Sports. Since 1970, we've been dedicated to serving customers with the finest quality grocery products, the freshest produce and meats at the lowest possible overall prices. Now, 75 years later, Houchins is still carrying on that tradition. This week, fresh cauliflower, large head, 99 cents.
At Houchins Food Choice, you're gonna see the store that's right on the money.
Is on the air. It's Glasgow Scotty Football on WCLU. Every play of tonight's game is brought to you by community-minded people like Square Deal Lumber Company, The Paint Corner, Houchins Food Stores, the Glasgow Electric Plant Board and their cable TV division, Glass Paving, Dr. Chris Stewart, dentist, McDonald's of Glasgow, and Trans Financial Bank. And now we go Mike's side for the play-by-play description of tonight's broadcast with Jim Moody.
Jim Moody, along with Larry Alexander, Randall Cook, and Bruce Tribute, set to send you the exciting play-by-play description of Glasgow Scotty football during the 1992 campaign. And the neighborhood rivals will battle it out tonight, Larry, as the Glasgow Scotties and the Barron County Trojans go at it. A beautiful night after a lot of rain overnight in Glasgow at Barron County. The field is in pretty good condition. I talked with Glasgow offensive coordinator Scotty Jones just a few minutes ago. He said for all the rain we had, over 2 inches, the field is in great shape. The outside edges of the field near the sidelines are somewhat wet, but for all the rain we got, we're in great shape field-wise, and we're getting ready for the neighborhood rivalry.
Should be a good ball game. A lot of experience coming back for Barron County. Of course, they had a season last year that wasn't up to par, but they have a lot of kids coming back, and they think they're going to be a lot better. Scotty's lost a lot of people. They lost 11 people at graduation and 2 more through other means, so they're losing 13 people, and a lot of inexperience there, but they do have some key people back, so it should be a good football game.
Glasgow winning last year 54-6. What about the history of this series between the Scotties and the Trojans?
Well, this will be the 10th meeting between the Glasgow Scotties and the Barron County Trojans. Glasgow leads the series 8-1. The only loss, Barron County's only win came in 1979, and it was a score of 10-8. A late field goal won the football game. So this is the 10th meeting, and Barron County, of course, looking to get on the win column again.
Barron County 2-8 last year. Defensively, they've got all of their secondary back. They've got a good linebacker in Chris Duncan. They've got some size up front, offensively and defensively. They've got a promising quarterback in Kelly Taylor. They've got Jeremy Crane back from last year, who rushed for 600 yards. They've got a good core of receivers with Scarborough, Stevens, Browning, York, Scott Chapman. Larry, they hope to be improved this year.
Well, they are. They have been playing. Most of these kids have been playing since they were sophomores, so this is their senior year, and the experience part is there. They do have inexperience at the quarterback position, and that's a big key. They have some speed at the wide receivers, but they don't have a lot of speed anywhere else, especially in the line or on defense. So that's going to be a problem, and I think Glasgow is looking forward to using their speed against Barron County's lack of speed.
They'll run the double tight end set with only one back. Johnny Hines says if we have to throw 35 times a game, we'll do it.
Well, that's the type of offense he likes to play, the one setback, and something like the pros play, and he likes to put it in the air.
Before we look at the starting lineup for Barron County, now our national anthem from the Glasgow High Scotty Band. Band under the direction of Keith Vincent, and we'll have halftime music from the Scotty Band coming up a little bit later. We'll return with the starting lineup for the Barron County Trojans in 2 minutes on WCLU Sports.
Folks that thinks all paint is alike, that no matter the brand, it's all the same with a different label, boy, are you wrong. The Paint Corner in Glasgow is the home of Porter Paint, the paint company that professionals and smart homeowners trust for the longest wear and the easiest application. Porter Paint is on the edge of technology with their new Porter Set paint, the paint that stops mold, mildew, and bacteria spread. When you use Porter Set from the Paint Corner, a clean paint job takes on a whole new meaning. And don't forget the Paint Corner is this area's custom color center. We can mix the perfect match for any decor. Stop in at the Paint Corner on the Happy Valley Road. Open Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. for your convenience. The Paint Corner.
A lot of paving trucks roll through this area, but there's one name you'll see on the side of trucks that's here to stay, the Glass Paving name. Glass Paving is a locally owned company that invests in our community in so many ways, one of which is quality asphalt jobs that have built our best roads or made a perfect driveway for your neighbor. You see, quality is the key to our growth. From our very first job to our most recent, we've made sure of the quality. And since we're local, our customers have our guarantee that we stand behind every job. Best of all, know that you have one of the most respected painting companies in the state right here at home. Glass Paving, 651-3897.
How would you like to have a team of 33 people working for you? People that could do everything from electrical work to cable TV service to installing and maintaining security lights? You've got that team working for you already. The Glasgow Electric Plant Board has served Glasgow for 30 years, providing you with reliable electric service. For the past 3 years, we've brought you Glasgow's superior cable TV service. We're committed to staying on the cutting edge of technology, poised to help Glasgow grow into the next century and beyond. The Glasgow Electric Plant Board, owned and operated by the people of Glasgow. Call us at 651-8341, 24 hours a day.
Dr. Chris Stewart believes in our schools, and with good reason. Even long before he started his dental practice in Cave City, Chris Stewart was involved in school support and activities. He knows that dedication and hard work not only make a great team, but a great individual. Chris Stewart has shown that in his work as a dentist, in his dedication to his community, and hard work as a civic leader. And that's why Chris Stewart continues to support our youth and our community by sponsoring this broadcast, because Chris Stewart knows that the best way to a better tomorrow is to invest in teaching leadership today. Best of luck from Dr. Chris Stewart.
The Glasgow Scotties and the Barron County Trojans. I remember 2 years ago on an August night when it was about 100 degrees in Bowling Green. Larry, the night's low should be about 57.
Boy, it is nice. This is October weather, 1st of October weather, I should say, in the middle of August, and it's nice. That is nice.
Let's look at the starting lineup of the Trojans. They'll average 220 up front, start 6 seniors, 3 juniors, and 2 sophomores. The starting quarterback is Kelly Taylor, a 5'11", 175-pound sophomore. Taylor wears number 15, threw for 200-plus yards last year. Might see Scott Chapman at that position as a backup. The single back, a fullback, Jeremy Crane, 5'4", 145-pound sophomore, who wears number 27, rushed for 600 yards last year. At one tight end, Jay York, number 5, a 6'1", 185-pound senior. His backup is Stephen Pickcock, a senior, who wears number 42. Now, at a flanker position, Scott Chapman, 5'9", 165-pound junior. He'll start. Jared Browning will see action. Jared's been hampered by mononucleosis. Jared is an outstanding receiver, as is Scott, and that could be their strength offensively. But Chapman will get the start at flanker. Browning will be the backup. Eric Scarborough is a starting split end, a 5'10", 150-pound junior who wears number 22. And Scarborough caught passes totaling about 700 yards last year.
Eric has a lot of speed, a lot of quickness, and he can really catch a football. He's a good pass receiver, and one of the kids that they'll be looking forward to get into Glasgow's inexperienced secondary and do some damage.
The other tight end, Todd Stevens, 6', 185-pound senior who wears number 34. Now the starting center is Chris Rutherford, a 5'10", 210-pound senior who wears 68. The tackles, the left tackle, Steve Burgess, 6', 220-pound senior who wears number 74. The right tackle is Chris Parker, 6', 220-pound junior who wears number 75. At left guard, Chris Duncan, a 6'1", 218-pound senior who wears number 44. And Chad Westmoreland, a 5'11", 208-pound junior who wears number 78. 4 of these 5 guys, Larry, other than Parker, these other 4 have experience from last year. Of course, Scarborough, a returning starter. Browning saw a lot of action. Crane, a returning starter. They've got about 6 or 7 players back offensively. Jay York will kick and punt. Pretty good distance on his kicks. Returning kickoffs, we could see possibly Chapman, Scarborough, and Crane in one set. The other set could be Corey Prophet, Chris Hagan, returning kickoffs for Barron County, and the third man for the Trojans. And we'll check that here in just a moment for Barron County. But we do know that Long, Prophet, and Chris Hagan would be returning kicks for Barron County. That would be one of 2 possibilities, with Crane being the deep man on one team and Neil Smith being the deep man on the other. Now, defensively, they'll base it out of the 50, and Coach Hines really surrounding his defense around Chris Duncan, who averaged about 13 tackles at linebacker last year despite missing 3 games. He'll be their heart and soul defensively.
Well, 6'1", 218, around 220. He's a tough kid, and he's a good tackler. He gets around on the field. He knows what he's doing, and he's just where the football is most of the time.
Let's look at their starters defensively. They'll have 6 players going both ways. Westmoreland at the left defensive end, Todd Stevens at the right defensive end. William Elmore at left tackle, 6', 270-pound junior who wears number 71. Burgess at the right tackle. And Chad Gross will most likely start at nose guard. We could see Rutherford. Both will see a lot of action. Gross is a 6', 185-pound senior who wears number 43. They go 2-14 up front. They start 4 seniors, 5 juniors, and 2 sophomores. Duncan is one linebacker. Rondell England is the other, a 5'10", 175-pound sophomore. Chapman and Scarborough, the left and right corners. The safeties, Kelly Taylor's a free safety, and Jared Browning scheduled to get the start at strong safety for Barron County, a 5'11", 165-pound senior. We could also see Paul Lee Elmore back there. Scott Chapman will return punts. I think speed is Johnny Hines' concern, the lack of it.
Well, I think so. Defensively, the speed, they have a couple kids in the defensive secondary, and Scarborough and Browning and Chapman, that have decent speed. But I think where Glasgow wants to exploit them is their linebacking position and their defensive line.
We'll look at the starting lineup for the Glasgow Scotties after this 2-minute timeout on WCLU Sports.
Everyone would like their CD's interest rates to go up. So that's why TransFinancial Bank is introducing their new Trade-Up CD. This is an exclusive CD that allows you to trade it up for a higher rate of investment. When you buy a minimum of a $1,000 CD for 24 months at today's rate at TransFinancial Bank, you've got a one-time option to trade it up for a higher rate when interest rates go up. You can get today's interest rate and more information by calling one of our financial service representatives at the TransFinancial Bank location nearest you. This trade-up CD can only go up and never go down. So take advantage of the trade-up CD at TransFinancial Bank. It'll be music to your savings. Substantial penalty for early withdrawal. Member FDIC.
Square Deal Lumber Company has it all.
Shop and buy.
Well, that's right.
And you will be surprised. Shop and buy.
Come on.
Yeah, you will be surprised.
Oh, yeah.
You'll save a lot of money and you'll save a lot of time when you shop and buy.
Hey, friend, if you need this, that, and the other, well, why don't you stop, shop, and buy at Square Deal Lumber Company? We got everything you'll ever need to make your house a home. I'm telling you, it's a great deal all the way around there at Square Deal Lumber Company, because we're going to save you money, because we've got low prices on quality materials. And we've got the nicest people and the best personal attention. I'm telling you, it is a sweet deal all the way around. So come on down to Square Deal Lumber Company, where you're going to save money when you buy.
Save a lot of money, save a lot of time when you shop and buy.
Square Deal Lumber Company, Park City, Cave City, Horse Cave, and Glasgow. Yeah.
Jim Moody, Larry Alexander, Randall Cook, Bruce Tribute, Duncan Burgess, and also I believe, Rutherford, the tri-captains for Barron County, Marcus Williams, Jason Shaw, and Chad Metis, the tri-captains for Glasgow. There's another captain for Barron County, Todd Stevens. Let's talk about the Scotties, Larry. 11-2 last year, prolific offense. Glasgow, again, will run out of the throw set. They'll throw the ball as much as they, I think, need to. They've got an experienced quarterback in Chad Meadows, and that's where you start.
That's exactly where you start. That's the best place to start. The quarterback position is probably the most important on the field if you're going to get any points on the scoreboard, and Glasgow does have really good experience there.
Again, not many numbers this year, and of course, they were figuring on Jerome Wilson coming back. He transfers to Barron County. Tommy Burris, academically ineligible. Timmy Driver moving to Louisville this week, and that does hurt. It does hurt, no doubt about it. That took away a lot of speed, especially at the defense, in the defensive secondary and at the receiver position with Tommy Burris being gone. But a big numbers fullback.
Numbers are not really important. It's the quality of what you have left.
Jim Glasgow won the toss. They elected to receive, so Barron County will be kicking off, moving from our left to right on the football field.
Thanks, Randall. Let's look at the starting lineup for the Glasgow Scotties. Chad Meadows is a quarterback, a 6 foot, 175-pound senior who wears number 11. In the backfield, Channing Twyman, 5'10", 172-pound senior who wears number 22. Has some speed. Barrett Wright will start at fullback. 6 foot, 195-pound junior who wears number 15. Marcus Britt will be the backup. At the slot, Marcus Williams, a 6'6", 215-pound senior who wears number 82. The split end, Scotty Mitchell, 6'3", 225-pound senior who wears number 33. And Corey Jackson, a 5'11", 150-pound senior who wears number 25. Richie Gajuan will also see action. So Glasgow's strength offensively at quarterback and the receiving core. And the offensive line averages 204 pounds. The starting center, Stephen Hughes, a 6 foot, 185-pound sophomore who wears number 51. The right guard is Mike Allen, a 6 foot, 190-pound senior who wears number 62. At left guard, Jason Shaw, 5'8", 190 senior. Jason wears 61. The left tackles, Brad Fleming, 5'9", 227-pound senior who wears number 75. And the right tackle, Scotty Vaughn, a 5'9", 224-pound junior who wears number 64. Chad Davis, a soccer player, will kick extra points, a soccer-style kicker. Marcus Britt and Chad Meadows will do the punting. Coach Meadows told me he thinks Britt will start. We'll have to wait and see. Wright and Twyman will return kickoff. Meadows will snap. Gajuan will hold. What about the Scotty offense? One pleasing point for Coy Meadows in the preseason. The offensive line has come along a little further, a little more than he expected.
Well, I think we'll be just as good as this offensive line can carry us. If they get better, we're going to be a good football team. Because Channing Twyman, Barrett Wright can run with the football. Chad has a lot of experience. And, you know, Marcus Williams and Scotty Mitchell and those guys can catch the football. They may not have the speed that Spencer Botts and Michael Darst and Core had last year, but they can catch the football.
8 seniors, 2 juniors, and 1 sophomore start. Here's the concern. Glasgow, 10 players both ways.
Yeah, that's a big concern, but, you know, they're going to have to get in real good shape. Hopefully they don't have any injuries also.
Defensively, the 5-man front, but bandit backs. Sometimes linebackers, sometimes closer to the line will be Marcus Williams and Scotty Mitchell. That's a different wrinkle for Jerry Eubanks' defensive unit.
A little bit different wrinkle. They're going to have Michael Allen. I think he'll be out there at one of the defensive ends. And then they could, you know, Scotty and Marcus will move in and out of the other position on defense. And wherever their strong tight end is, that's where they'll be.
I'm not going to have to mention many weights again because we only have one other new player to tell you about, and that's Sonny Flatt. He'll be at the left defensive end. The rest of these guys you've heard on offense. Fleming will be at left tackle. Shaw at nose guard. Boy, he's a tough nose guard, Jason Shaw. He's played since a sophomore.
A lot of quickness there on that defensive line with him in the middle there, and with Timmy Driver out, boy, that would have been another one. But of course, we have Carl Hunter.
Carl Hunter, of course, is nursing, I believe, an ankle injury.
Right, but he'll probably play some.
Right. Scotty Baum will start at right tackle. You could expect Carl to play some. Mike Allen at the end, as Larry talked about. The only true linebacker for the Scotties will be Barrett Wright. In the secondary, here's an untested part of Glasgow's defense. Twyman and Jackson at the corners, Chad Meadows at the safety. Gajuan is the backup.
Well, yeah, that's the kids have been around, you know, for 4 years now. Most of them have, and they've played JV and things of that nature in freshman ball, but they have yet to been too much under par. Corey Jackson, I guess, probably had the most playing time back there. You know, Chad Meadows is a good football player, good athlete, and he'll do all right. Channing Twyman, and he's had some playing time in JV games also. So It's untested. We'll just have to find out. It'll be hard to beat that defensive secondary we had last year.
Larry will have his halftime trivia coming up. I guess we shan't call Larry Kaywood anymore. We'll have to call Larry McAlexander for Charlie Mack.
Charlie Mack, that's right.
And we'll have music from the Scotty Band and, of course, scores from area games. The first high school poll out this week. Glasgow 4th in Kentucky in AA, and the Courier Journal Coaches Poll. Boy, a good battle tomorrow night in the Thoroughbred Bowl. Danville, number 1, facing number 3, Corbin.
That'll go a long way to seeing who the best football team is up around that area.
Mayfield, number 2 in Class AA. Fort Campbell, number 5. They're facing Fort Knox tonight. In Class Single A, Beechwood, the number 1 preseason team. Russellville, number 2. In AAA, Bell County, number 1. Paducah Tillman, number 2. Bowling Green, the Scotties' opponent next week, number 4. And in Class 4A, Trinity is number 1. Barron County clad in white tops and gold shorts with burgundy numbers and gold helmets. Barron County moving to your right in the first quarter. The Scotties in blue jerseys and blue pants trimmed in white. Jay York set to kick off from the 40. And the deep man for the Glasgow Scotties,
Barrett Wright.
And he is standing at his 5-yard line. Barrett Wright, the deep man. York, a pretty good kicker. Let's see how this contest starts off. Here's the boot. End over end kick, and that ball may go out of bounds. And it will fall out of bounds at the 15-yard line. So Glasgow has the option to take it at the 35, or will they force Barron County to kick it again?
I think they'll force them to kick it again since it went out at the 35.
Tried to kick away.
But they do have the option. They could take it where it went out of bounds, or they can have them re-kick.
So they don't have the option to take it at the 35-yard line, which has been a rule in the past.
I think it was the 40, I believe.
All right. So I'm sure Glasgow will force Barron County to kick it over. Let's see. Oh, they'll take it at the 35.
You're right. They're going to take it at the 35.
I was actually right for once.
You were.
That's not a bad way to start off the season, Larry, and a miracle in itself. I thought that was a high school rule.
Well, I thought it was 40-yard line. I was 5 yards off.
So the Glasgow Scotties, after winning the toss, will start at their own 35-yard line. Good field position. Coach Scotty Jones expecting maybe a blitz from Barron County. They may stack 8 men up front. That's what they did in their scrimmage against Russell County last week, and they played Russell County tough.
Well, I think Glasgow wants to establish the run first if they can. And if they can't, then they'll go to the pass. But I think the run is where they think that they can exploit Barron County because they think they're a little slow up front.
Mitchell and Jackson wideouts left and right in the slot. Williams backfield split against the 5-man front. As here comes the handoff to Twyman. Twyman has at the 45. Twyman at midfield. Twyman at the 45. Twyman at the 40. Twyman at the 35. Great cut at the 20. Twyman at the 15. At the 10. At the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give him 6. And what a great run from Channing Twyman, Larry. He broke 3 would-be tacklers, and he sweeps the left corner and scores 65-yard run. And that's what Corey Mettis wants to see from the senior Channing Twyman. He's got that kind of speed.
Well, the only man that had a shot at him was at the line of scrimmage, and that was Shannon Westmoreland that knocked him down and even get him for a no gain on that. But he went inside too far. Channing came outside, went down the sidelines, and really did a good sidestep down the sideline, staying bound.
So Twyman, 65-yard run, 1 play, 65 yards, 12 seconds. And Glasgow leads Barron County 6-0. Here's Chad Davis heading to attempt the extra point from the hold of Gajuwan. The snapper is Mettis. The kick will be shanked to the left. It's no good. So, with 11:48 left in the first quarter, the Scotties 6, the Trojans nothing. We'll return after this one message on WCLU Sports.
What you want is what you get. Every day and everywhere. What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
You get the hot, delicious breakfast you want fast at McDonald's, like our 79-cent sausage biscuit or 99-cent breakfast burrito. Plus, tax prices may vary. Come on in for breakfast at a participating McDonald's now.
What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
Other area games tonight. Metcalf County battling Russell County. Adair County against Caverna. Allen County facing Evanston County. Monroe battles LaRue. E-Town against Central Hardin. Franklin Simpson meets Todd Central. Greene County against Hart County. Greenwood against Warren East. Logan County faces Russellville. Tomorrow night in the Heritage Bowl, Bowling Green against Lincoln County. Warren Central against Ben Davis High School out of Indianapolis. Preseason top 25. Chad Davis will kick off, and the Scotties strike quickly as they did last year against the Trojans.
Well, that's exactly what they thought they could do, is run outside on them because they think Barron County is a little slow outside, and it worked the first time anyway.
Beautiful end-over-end kick That will be taken by Smith. Fumbles the football at the 8-yard line, has it at the 15. Smith tries to cut to the outside, but he's lapped up at the 15-yard line. Good coverage by Glasgow's special teams. Gajuan may have been down there, and Richie, the 5'9", 155-pound sophomore. A return by Smith of only 7 yards. And there, Johnny Hines' offense will take the field 1st and 10, and the ball spotted at the 16-yard line. And the quarterback, sophomore Kelly Taylor, will lead them to the line of scrimmage against Glasgow's 5-man front with the banded backs. 2 wideouts to the right side for Barron County. Single back. Now they're actually in the I formation, Larry. As the handoff up the middle, trying to gain some yardage and a little bit of running room. So Glasgow's defense catches up at about the 17-yard line. Looked like the second man through was knocked down by Barrett Wright. And let's see who carried the pigskin there. Jeremy Crane was in the backfield. And also
Scott Chapman, I think, when was Scott. No, he was out here on his
Jay York was carrying that football. Number 5, York, who will be at a tailback position when they move into that I formation. Now, we expected to see the single back offense, and now we do, as they have 2 receivers split to the right. Now with a motion to the far side, York. Now he comes to the near side as they've got a double tight end set with Taylor calling the signals against the 5-man front. Here's Taylor, backs up, pass, almost picked off at the 21-yard line. Let's see, the Scotties almost intercepted. A great deflection for Glasgow High.
I think number 64, Scotty Vaughn, got a hand on that.
He sure did. He almost picked that off. A lot of traffic. Just a quick step back. 2 steps for Taylor. Tried to flip it over the middle to a tight end. Coming across, Larry. But Glasgow's defense with a good pass rush, and that's something else that Coy Meadows is hoping for. Gain of only a yard on that run a moment ago. 3rd and 9. Actually, he lost. He really didn't gain anything. 3rd and 10. Single back behind Taylor is Crane as Taylor steps back. Taylor being rushed. Here's a pass overthrown, intended for York at the 21-yard line. And I believe Mr. Taylor felt some heat that time from the interior of Glasgow's front, like Fleming, Shaw, and Vaughn. And, of course, Williams and Scotty Mitchell providing some pressure as well.
Well, that should be the best part of Glasgow's defense this year is the defense rushing the passer. That should be, and we'll have to have that with the inexperience in the secondary.
Barrett Wright at his 50-yard line. He'll return punt. Jay York will punt from deep in his own territory. The Scotties leading 6-0. 10 minutes, 32 seconds left of the first quarter here at Hank Roy Stadium. He'll take the snap at the 5-yard line. It's a good one. Here's a kick. Nice spiral. Wright will take it. Has it at the 45. He'll look for a wall. He may have one at the 40. At the 35 comes Wright. At the 25, 20, 15. Knocked down at about the 14-yard line. And boy, a beautiful wall set up on the near sideline by the Scotty return team. You can't draw it up any better. Is Jay York, the punter, the last man to make the tackle?
Well, that's the last thing said out of the huddle is which way you're going to go. I don't know what their signal is for it, but it was this time it was turned to the left, and they had a good wall set up. The lineman come back down the field and set it up left, and he had a good wall all the way down.
32-yard punt, 33-yard return, and the Scotties in business at the Trojan 15-yard line. Glasgow in the pro set split backfield with the slot. Barron County 5-man front defensively. The handoff up the middle. Marcus Brett, he's not going anywhere. Great defensive surge by Barron County. He may have stepped for a half a yard as he tried to go over right tackle, but I'll tell you what, William Elmore, 6'2", 270. Elmore is playing a tackle. Boy, he laid one on Marcus Brett, and Brett will see plenty of action in the backfield at a fullback spot. Marcus is a 5'9", 200-pound junior.
William Elmore made first contact there. He's the one that stood him straight up. He did. Somebody else had to come in and help him, but Elmore is a load. He's a good defensive football player.
Mitchell and Jackson are the wideouts, right and left, backfield split. Marcus Williams, a slot back in a motion to the near side as Chad Meadows drops back. Meadows being rushed. Here's a pass intended for Mitchell. It is caught. Great catch by Mitchell at about the 5-yard line. Boy, how did he catch that one, Larry? Because it looked like that ball was sailing out of bounds, but Scotty Mitchell hangs on to it, that he's immediately pushed out of bounds by a Trojan. And it's close to a first down. Scott Chapman, I believe, will be credited with the stop. And the ball is spotted at the 5-yard line. 1st and 10 for Glasgow. 1st and goal at the Trojan 5.
Well, it was a kind of a wounded pigeon, the throw was, and Scotty really had to wait on it and caught it over his shoulder, and he stepped out of bounds. He dropped the football, didn't know whether he was in bounds or not, but he caught it in bounds and then dropped it.
Meadows with the split backfield. Here's a handoff up the middle, roaming inside for 6 for the Glasgow Scotties is Marcus Brett. And Brett turns and finds his way for 6, and the Scotties lead 12-0. 9:19 left in the first quarter, and it looks like Glasgow will go for 2. And the Scotties this year, Larry, using a bit of a different way to send in the offensive plays.
Yeah, they're signaling them in this year, and Coach Sam Royce has that distinction of signaling the plays in from Scotty Jones, who will call the plays.
So Glasgow has touched the football on offense for 3 plays. 4 plays, and they've scored on 2. That's not bad. That's not a bad batting average.
How far was that run?
That run, I believe, went for 5 yards for Marcus Brett, and the Scotties lead 12-0. So, Larry, that play, actually that drive, 3 plays, 15 yards, set up by a beautiful punt return from Barrett Wright.
Right. That's we do have some speed, at the key positions. The tailbacks can run.
Scotties will go for 2. Backfield split behind Meadows against a 5-man front. Here's Chad. Quick drop. Pass intended for Mitchell. Incomplete. Mitchell thought he was bumped by Crane. No call from the official. 9:19 left. First quarter. Glasgow 12, Barron County nothing. We'll return after this one message on WCLU Sports.
Stop by Houchins this week and see what just a pocket full of change will buy you at our 99-cent sale. Your choice, Heinz ketchup, 32-ounce bottle, or Kraft barbecue sauce in the 18-ounce jar, 99 cents. And assorted flavors of sparkle drinks, 6-pack cans, 99 cents.
At Houchins Food Store, you're gonna see the store that's right on the money.
Right now, Randall Cook tells us Glasgow with 80 yards in total offense in 2 minutes and 41 seconds. Barron County has nothing.
Well, that's tough. Glasgow started right where they left off last year, putting points on the scoreboard, and that's exactly what you want to do.
Smith is the deep man for Barron County in the middle at the 10-yard line. Also Chris Hagan and Corey Profit back there as Chad Davis is set to kick off. Here's the boot, end over in kick. That will be taken by Hagan at the 10. Hagan has it at the 15. Hagan at the 20. Tries to get to the outside. Hagan has it at the 26-yard line. So better field position for Johnny Hines Ball Club starting at this point. They started their first drive at the 16. They didn't move the football at all. Now they'll start at about the 26 or 27-yard line, moving left to right. That kickoff return of 17 yards. Barrett Wright with stop number 2. So Barrett Wright has had a good first quarter.
Yeah, Barrett's he's a good athlete. There's no doubt about that. He's got the ability to run the football, and he's a good defensive player.
Taylor with 2 wideouts on the right side. That's John Michael Clemens and Eric Scarborough. Single back is Crane. He's got the football. Crane rams it up the middle to about the 28, but the running is tough against that Scotty interior. Only a gain of 2 for Jeremy Crane as Jason Shaw, the 5'8", 190-pound senior, makes the stop. And Crane did a good job last year for the Trojans with 600 yards, and you've got to realize that Crane for Barrett County is still only a junior.
Yeah, he's a good football player, no doubt about it. He got a lot of speed. When he gets outside, he can do the same thing Channing Twyman did a few minutes ago.
Scarborough and Clemens the wideouts. Crane the single back behind Taylor. Scotty's 5-man front. Here's Taylor, drops back to pass. Throws one up. It is going to be intercepted, I think, at about the 47-yard line. And it's Corey Jackson who comes up with the pickoff. Taylor had pretty good protection, but threw it in a crowd, intended that pass for Clemens on the left sideline. But right now, the Scotty defense rising to the occasion for Jackson. No return on that interception, but he picks it off at the Scotty 45. So the first turnover of this season for the Trojans, and the Scotties in business with 8:08 left in the first quarter. Glasgow 12, Barron County nothing.
Well, I'm sure the coaching staff is really pleased to see that because they were really wondering about the defensive secondary.
Aaron's at a 5-man front defensively as Meadows on the straight drop. Meadows has time. Here's a pass. Caught by Marcus Williams at the Trojan 40. Called down at the 39-yard line. And Meadows got rid of that football just in time because he was feeling the pressure from Duncan along with Todd Stevens at a defensive end. But the pass goes for 16 yards, and Marcus Williams will be a critical part of the Scotty offense Jared Browning at that defensive back position makes the stop. And Glasgow, Larry, in the first 4 minutes of this game, Glasgow has surpassed the 100-yard mark on offense. Timeout, Barron County. 7:43 left first quarter. Scotty's 12, Trojans nothing. Back after this message on WCLU Sports.
Whether you have a small interior job or a large exterior job, there's one place to stop for your paint. It's the Paint Corner on the Happy Valley Road. Linda Armstrong and staff at the Paint Corner are true professionals at their work. And being this area's Porter Paint headquarters helps too. Porter Paint continues to be the paint more homeowners and professionals trust. And Porter Paint continues to be on top of technology in their field with the development of Advantage 900, the paint that has the advantages of both enamel and acrylic paint, with high gloss retention, fast dry time, and can be used to paint over most existing paint without a primer or sanding. Find out about Advantage 900 today at the Paint Corner. And remember them for custom color mixing too at the Paint Corner on the Happy Valley Road in Glasgow.
I think that's a good timeout taken by Johnny Hines. He knows that this could be a critical touchdown for Glasgow. If they got a 3-touchdown lead midway through the first quarter, Larry, Barron County could be facing a lot of trouble.
They sure could, and you don't want them to get another one on the board if you're a Barron County coach or a player or a fan. You got to hold them here and just at least just to show them that you're going to stay in the football game with them.
Trojans, 5 men up front. 2 linebackers. Scotty's a throw set. Williams a slot back in motion to the left side. 2 wideouts. Brian Vincent is in there. Here's a handoff up the middle. Good running room inside the 30 down to the 26-yard line. That's that fullback trap up the middle that's been so successful. Steve Burgess makes the stop and carrying the pigskin, Barrett Wright. So Barrett picks up good yardage up the middle. Pickup of 12, another first down for the Glasgow Scotties, and Randall tells me 3 first downs for Glasgow, and making the stop Burgess. That's his first and 10 at the Trojan 27.
I'll show you how strong the Barry Wright is. He carried Mr. Burgess, who is 220, about 10 yards.
Backfield again split as Metis. Straight drop. Sideline fast. Nice catch by Marcus Williams. Throws inside the 20, down to about the 18-yard line. It may be a yard short of the first down, but that's that quick hitter that Glasgow has had a lot of success with. Stop made by Jared Browning, his second of the night. Another close first down, not quite. A yard short, pass completion of 9 yards. So the Scotties have it 2nd and 1 at the Trojan 18-yard line.
Well, you know what kind of receiver Harold Carmichael was for the Eagles? That's the way Marcus Williams will do for Glasgow, except for he doesn't have that speed.
Quick pitch comes to Britt. He's got running room. Cuts against the middle. He's got the first down and more. Past the 15, past the 10, at about the 8-yard line. Looked like the toss sweep as he turns the right corner. And here comes Marcus Britt, the junior, charging for a first down. And Britt picks up 9 yards as he sweeps right. Chris Duncan, his first stop, a 6'1", 218-pound linebacker, a senior, and his first and goal for the Scotties, knocking at the Trojan door, first and goal at about the 9.
Well, the offensive line really doing a good job. They had a hole over there. I think me or you could run in that time.
Trips on the left side. Speak for yourself, Larry. Here's Metis against the 6-man front. Up the middle, Britt charges inside the 5 to about the 1-yard line. He almost scored, but just shy of the goal line. So they lined up. Did you see 3 receivers on the left side and then the fullback trap up the middle?
You know, they'll have 2 or 3 different plays off of that. They can throw to different people, or they can run the sweep. They can run the reverse off of it and do a lot of things.
Pick up a 7 at 2nd and goal at the 2. Britt, 4 carries, 21 yards. Wide out, Jackson on the right side, Mitchell on the left. Backfield is split with Williams, a slot back. Chad Meadows against the 6-man front. Here's a carry for Britt. Does he have 6? He does. Touchdown, Glasgow. 5:51 left in the first quarter. Glasgow's 3rd offensive series. Glasgow's 3rd touchdown. Scotties lead 18-0. Set up by Corey Jackson's interception. Glasgow moves 55 yards. And the Scotties take 6 plays. 6 plays, 55 yards, and Glasgow leads 18-0. And here's Chad Davis in to attempt the extra point. Knocker-style kicker. Good snap. Here's a kick from Davis. Oh, that is a beauty. Drills it through the upright.
Well, that was pretty good. Now, he's probably a little nervous on that first one, being that was his first attempt ever, and that one looked real good.
5:51 left first quarter. The Scotties 19, the Trojans nothing. We'll return after this message on WCLU Sports.
It's true that at Glass Paving, we've been into some pretty big projects. Maybe it was a major road project, or maybe it was a couple's big decision to finally have that driveway paved. At Glass Paving, we approach both with the same amount of professionalism. Over 100 years of combined experience makes it possible for us to sit down with you and shed some light on the questions you may have. It's not every day you take on a paving project, but when you're ready, one phone call to 651-3897 puts you in touch with a locally owned, quality-oriented company. Our workmanship is state-of-the-art, and our customer satisfaction is second to none, because at Glass Paving, we make it right, and we're here to stay. And we're big enough to serve you no matter where you are, with asphalt plants in Glasgow and Horse Cave. Call Glass Paving at 651-3897, a call you'll be glad you made.
Pedia, the playing game.
This kick taken by Neil Smith at about the 10-yard line. He rolls it up the middle to about the 31. That's the best field position for Barron County so far in this football game. Tackle made by Richie Gajuan. Britt scores on a 2-yard run, and the Scotties lead 19-0. 19-yard return. And the ball is spotted at the 30.
You can look for Richie Gajuan to be down there just about every time. He's one of the fastest ones they have on the kickoff team, and he gets down the field first just about every time. He's a headhunter.
Scotties, 5 men up front defensively. I formation for the Trojans now, as a handoff comes to the fullback, who rams it up the middle to about the 34-yard line. And let's see who carried the pigskin that time. It might have been Crane. Pickup of about 4, 2nd and 6. That's the longest gain from scrimmage so far as Brad Fleming makes the stop. That's the longest gain of scrimmage. That doubles Barron County's offensive output to this point, with the Scotties up 19-0, 4:55 left in the first quarter. Let's see, we've got Stephen Pickcock at fullback for the Trojans, and Neil Smith at tailback. As Taylor, the handoff comes to Smith. Smith is downed. Somebody made a great effort back at about the 33 and slowed Smith. He falls to about the 34-yard line off left tackle, gained to nothing.
That was Carl Hunter. You'll see that a lot this year, him getting a hand on the ball carrier or the quarterback quick.
Hunter, 6'2", 175-pound senior, did not play last year for the Scotties.
He's an excellent, they got excellent quickness. He, I think in the LaRue County scrimmage, they tried to pass 4 times out of the first 10 plays, and he sacked the quarterback all 4 times.
No gain on the play. 3rd and 6. He actually lost a yard. Backfield in the eye against a 5-man front. Taylor calling signals. Here's a quick pitch. Comes to Smith. He'll try to cut to the outside, and he is pounded at the 34-yard line. Was it Mr. Hunter who got the initial hit, and then he was backed up by Marcus?
Barrett Wright hit him first, and Marcus Williams finished him off.
And boy, did you see Smith take a hit by Barrett Wright?
Yeah, Barrett Wright, like I say, he's an excellent athlete, and he doesn't care to hit you or he doesn't care to get hit.
Smith picked up the yard, 4th and 5. He had lost a yard a moment ago. So the Scotties up 19-0, and Barron County struggling offensively right now. York set the punt from his own 20-yard line. Wright stands at his own 27. Scotties may set up for the return right here. They've got 7 men on the front line. Here's a snap. Here's a boot. End-over-end kick. It will take a bounce. Wright will pick it up on the fly, and he'll try to cut to the outside. Has it at the 40. Wright breaks a tackle and still on his feet at the 44-yard line. Had a nice effort by Barrett Wright before Jason Fields brought him down. Fields, a 6'1", 212-pound junior. And Wright, you see how strong he is. He bounced off a tackle.
Oh, he's a strong kid, really strong. And he's got a lot of speed and quickness also.
32-yard punt from York. He's putted twice, I believe, for 32 yards. And Barrett Wright, a 9-yard return. So Barrett averaging 21 yards per punt return. 1st and 10 for the Scotties at their own 43-yard line. No lot of changes. Glasgow with the pro set against the 7-man front. Here's a handoff up the middle. They do have one change. I believe that is Jeff Kingery who's carrying the pigskin. And Jeff, I believe, is a sophomore. Past the 45 to the 48-yard line. So Kingery, and he's got some ability, Larry. Kingery charges up the middle for a pickup of 5 before the stop is made by Barron County's Rondell England, a 5'10", 175-pound sophomore inside linebacker. So Kingery could give Coy Metta's team some help. Glasgow up 19-0.
Well, he'll get some playing times in games like these, and it'll be real good for him, experience for upcoming years.
Meadows on the quarterback keeper, has it past midfield, cuts to the outside, looks for some blocking, has it at the 45-yard line. So the quarterback keeper nets Glasgow a first down. As Chad Meadows takes the pass, turns up the field, and Meadows picks up 7 yards, and the Scotties churning it on the ground. 2:20 left, and this quarter's already been 25 minutes long.
Little story on that play. We was out here practice the other day, and I said, is that a call play? And they said, yes. And I said, when are you going to run it? And he said, at 8 o'clock Friday night. What time is it?
It's 7:56. Scarborough made the stop. Here's a quick little feed pass to Jackson. Corey makes a good stop, or good catch, I should say. Roams past the 40 to about the 38-yard line before he shoved out of bounds. Chris Duncan looked to be over there for the Trojans. And boy, Corey did a good job just to grab that football.
It bounced up in the air off his fingertips and went up in the air, and he still went back and got the football and then got good yardage out of it.
Wanted to get on the highlight film early in the season.
That's exactly right.
8-yard gain. Glasgow has really mixed it up well offensively. Really mixed it up well. 4-4 in the pass department for Chad Meadows. Backfield split behind him as Meadows. Here's a handoff. Channing Kleiman's got it. Kleiman broke the first one for a long run. He's got a long one here past the 30, inside the 25 to about the 20-yard line. He swept left. And let's credit that offensive line for a moment. Brad Fleming and Jason Shaw on the left side. Stephen Hughes, Allen, and Vaughn also up there. And they've opened some big holes for those running backs. 16-yard run for Twyman. 2 carries, 81 yards. That's another first down for the Scotties at the Trojan 21. Glasgow's got 6 first downs in this game. Shattered Westmoreland, 5'11", 208-pound junior, made the tackle, his second of the night.
Well, Corey said the offensive line wasn't very big weight-wise, but they're strong.
Here's Meadows, drops back, looking for some pass protection. He'll try to keep the football, and he'll be sacked back at the 25-yard line. Good coverage by Barron County's secondary. And Meadows had a little bit of time to throw the football. Then the pressure started to be applied. He had to actually move to his left. We do have, though, a penalty, maybe a late hit, a personal foul, which will give Glasgow a first down, it looks like, as the stop was made by Chris Parker. That's unfortunate, Larry. That was the best defensive play of this game so far for Barron County. They trail 19-0 with 50 seconds to go in the first quarter. Unfortunate for Johnny Hines' troops.
You got to credit their secondary for that loss right there, for that tackle, because they really had our receivers covered and couldn't anybody get there. Chad had plenty of time. He just couldn't find anybody open.
Personal foul, late hit, half the distance to the goal penalty, and that is a total, I believe, of 12 yards. And that does not give Glasgow a first down because the infraction occurred at the point of impact, which of course was 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So the Scotties have it, 1st and 2 at the 12-yard line. The yard marker says second, but it should be first down. 1st and 2.
First and 10, Glasgow.
It should be 1st and 2 if the yard marker is correct.
Should be first down and 1 or first down and 2. You're right, I believe.
Unless, Larry, that was a dead ball foul. If it was, would the play would be, of course, ruled. It would actually be ruled a play, and your down marker would move. Now, Meadows lost 4 yards, but of course, with the half the distance to the goal, Glasgow actually gains 8 yards. It was, I assume, a dead ball foul. That's why it's second at about a yard.
Yeah, it should be still second down.
And the Scotties...
That's right, second down and about 1.
Trying to make it 4 for 4. Backfield is split with the slot back. One wide out. Here comes the toss to Britt. Oh, he fell down at about the 11-yard line. He would have had more on the toss sweep. Roam to his left. I think he's got the first down. He does. But he would have had more if he hadn't slipped. Jason Fields, his second stop of the night for the Trojans. So the Scotties have it. And let's see if it's 1st and goal or if it's just outside the 10-yard line. There's 35 seconds left in the first quarter with Glasgow up 19-0. They've scored on all 3 possessions. Pickup of 2 from Britt.
I think it's just outside the 10. They get a first down right inside the goal line.
Jackson, the wide out on the left side. Mitchell is a slot back. Britt, and it looks like right are the backs behind Meadows. Mitchell in motion to the near side as the handoff comes to Britt. Great running room for Marcus. He churns it inside the 10 to about the 7-yard line. Made something out of nothing that time, it looked like. Looked like he might have a bit of a hole off right tackle, but it closed quickly, and that will be the last play of the first quarter. He carries it down to about the 8-yard line. Pick up a 3, 2nd and 7 for the Scotties, and the first quarter is over. William Elmore makes his second tackle. We played one period. The Glasgow Scotties lead the Barron County Trojans 19-0. This is WCLU, Glasgow, Kentucky. It's 8 o'clock. We'll return after this message on 14 Karat Gold Sports. But they certainly do in this game with Glasgow up 19-0. The Scotties in the first quarter well over 150 yards in total offense, and Barron County only with about 5 or 6.
Yeah, 3 opportunities with the football, 3 opportunities they score, so you can't do any better than that. You know, coming in, you said that they were low on numbers this year as they were last year, but last year they had quality people in those numbers. This year it looks like they have the same thing.
And Glasgow is really winning the battle up front.
Yeah, I think the offensive line is really doing a job against Barron's defensive front. They said Barron's defensive front was a little slow and they wanted to exploit the run, and I'm sure Bowling Green's here too watching, so they don't want to show them, you know, a lot of razzle-dazzle tonight that may be used against them.
Glasgow returns to the field along with the Trojans. They'll move to your right, 2nd and 7. Here's a handoff. Britt fights his way down to the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Marcus Britt turns the right corner, and Britt's been very impressive so far. Marcus Britt nearing the goal line. 3rd and less than a yard for the first down. 3rd and a full yard for the touchdown. I wonder if Channing Twyman might be hurt. Mike Miller talking to him down on the sideline.
Looks like he may have a muscle pull or a lower back problem or something. I see him bending over and trying to stretch out over here.
Scotty's in the pro set. Trojans 7 men up front. Mitchell is now a slot back. Jackson a wideout. Here's Chad Meadows on the quarterback sneak. Give him a half-dozen. Touchdown, Glasgow. And the Scotties score on their 4th possession of the first half. 11:20 remaining in the second quarter. And Glasgow this time drives about 60 yards. Actually, Glasgow drives 56 yards in 7 plays for the touchdown. About 3 minutes, and the Scotties lead 25-0. Now the numbers: Twyman 2 carries, 81 yards. Britt 8 carries, 34 yards. Barrett Wright 1 carry, 12 yards, and Chad Meadows is hit on all 4 passes for a total of 43 yards. Here's the extra point attempt from Chad Davis. Good, and Glasgow leads 26-0. 11:20 left in the first half. We'll return after this message on WCLU Sports.
Dr. Chris Stewart believes in our schools, and with good reason. Even long before he started his dental practice in Cave City, Chris Stewart was involved in school support and activities. He knows that dedication and hard work not only make a great team, but a great individual. Chris Stewart has shown that in his work as a dentist, in his dedication to his community, and hard work as a civic leader. And that's why Chris Stewart continues to support our youth and our community by sponsoring this broadcast, because Chris Stewart knows that the best way to a better tomorrow is to invest in teaching leadership today. Best of luck from Dr. Chris Stewart.
A very important quarter, I think, in Barron County's season, Larry. Johnny Hines wants to keep his troops up, and they're trailing 26-0, and they've got to be a little disappointed right now.
Yeah, very disappointed. I'm sure that. I think he said they were struggling coming in, but I don't think he thought they were struggling this bad. I think Glasgow may be a little better than what they anticipated, maybe.
Glasgow with 179 yards in total offense. Here's a kick taken by Hagan, has it at the 30. Hagan breaks a tackle, has it at the 32-yard line. That kick was actually touched by an up back. Hagan took it at about the 20. Glasgow 179 yards in total offense. Barron County with 5. Bryant Vincent, 5'9", 150-pound junior, and I believe Bryant wears number 4.
Number 4.
He makes the tackle.
He and Jeff Kingery were both in on it. I think Bryant got the first hit.
All right, we'll have some scores. Chuck Nelson will pass those along to us here in just a little bit of area football games. The Heritage Bowl coming up tomorrow. Next week, the Scotties travel to Bowling Green.
Tough game. Usually the traditional rival up until we started playing Barron in the first ball game, and always tough at Bowling Green.
Scotties 7-man front defensively, basically at 8. The single back. Here's Taylor. He passes. It is incomplete, intended for the receiver, Eric Scarborough. Scarborough at a wide-out position, a split-in position on the right sideline. Scarborough just ran across the middle. He was open momentarily at about the 37. Jackson was giving some coverage, but that pass was overthrown, and I think Kelly Taylor felt a little bit of pressure that time.
Yeah, to run this kind of offense that Coach Hines is running at Barron County, you really need a good, strong-arm quarterback, and Taylor may be a good quarterback in time. Right now, the inexperience is there.
Wideouts on both sides as Taylor and off. Here comes Crane. Crane is going absolutely nowhere as he's met by two Scotties at about the 32-yard line. Now, Marcus Williams is one of those there. He's a primary tackler. His first stop, Marcus, 6'6", 215-pound senior. Loss of 1, or gain of about a yard, actually. We'll give him a yard on that one at about the 32.5. 3rd and a long 9. The wideout on the near side is Scarborough. On the right side is Clements. There's a flanker, Chapman. Here's Taylor. Taylor, long pass is going to be caught. Beautiful catch by Scarborough, or Chapman, that is. Chapman has it at the 45-yard line. Oh, that's a beautiful grab by Chapman in the air. Chapman's a 5'9", 155-pound junior, and that's Barron County's first down of this game. By far their longest gain from scrimmage. 21-yard gain for the Trojans. Maybe that will get them uncranked offensively. They have it in Scotty territory for the first time. Bryant Vincent with the stop, his second. 1st and 10 at the Scotty 45.
Well, I thought that pass was going to have a chance to be intercepted, and Scott Chapman just made a big leap and got in the air and got the ball right out of the defender's hand.
Timeout, Barron County. 9:45 left, first half. Scotties 26, Trojans nothing. Back after this message on WCLU Sports.
Everyone would like their CD's interest rates to go up. So that's why TransFinancial Bank is introducing their new Trade-Up CD. This is an exclusive CD that allows you to trade it up for a higher rate of investment. When you buy a minimum of a $1,000 CD for 24 months at today's rate at TransFinancial Bank, you've got a one-time option to trade it up for a higher rate when interest rates go up. You can get today's interest rate and more information by calling one of our financial service representatives at the TransFinancial Bank location nearest you. This trade-up CD can only go up and never go down. So take advantage of the trade-up CD at TransFinancial Bank. It'll be music to your savings. Substantial penalty for early withdrawal. Member FDIC.
Jeb Moody, Larry Alexander, Randall Cook, Bruce Trevue. Beautiful night for football. Brandon Ryan is in defensively for the Scotties, number 79, at the tackle position. Trojans have it 1st and 10 at the Scotty 45. Crane is a single back behind Taylor. He's got wideouts on both sides. Someone was in motion. Here's Taylor, ups back to pass. It is going to be almost picked off at the 31-yard line, and that was a butterfly. And let's see who almost picked it off. Was that, let's see, was it Channing Twyman?
Channing Twyman, I think, almost picked the thing off, but Scott Chapman was offside.
Well, I thought the official dropped the flag, but apparently not. It's 2nd and 10.
Well, he got a good 2 or 3 yard head start on him there.
Right in front of the linesman. 2nd and 10. Ball's been moved up a half a yard, too.
Well, he was definitely offside. I don't know why they didn't call it.
He's a wideout on the right side. On the left side, Eric Scarborough, as Taylor drops back. Here's Taylor. This pass may be incomplete. I thought Vincent might have a chance to pick it off, but it was thrown too hard. Fly pattern down the left sideline intended for Scarborough. Thrown too hard at the 20-yard line. Scarborough had gotten open. But also, Vincent had a shot at an interception had that pass been thrown not as hard.
Yeah, Bryant played the ball about as well as he can play it. He maybe needed to turn just a split second sooner, and he might have had a chance to pick that thing off, but it was underthrown for the receiver.
This is a big 3rd down for Barron County, 3rd and 10 at the Scotty 45. Clemens and Scarborough are the wideouts on the right side. And also have a slot back, and the running back is Chapman. Here's Taylor, drops back. Pass is incomplete, and boy, he just again felt pressure. Vincent almost got the interception. Also there for the Scotties, number 5, Study Flat. Todd Stevens, the intended receiver. You know, the Scotties have not actually gotten a sack, but if we marked the number of times they provided pressure, probably 6 or 7.
Definitely. They've been in the quarterback's face a number of times, like you say, 6 or 7 times.
Well, Hines has to be encouraged a little bit about the one pass completion, Larry. you've got to get started.
Well, I think that's probably what they're going to do from here on out. They're going to just line up and throw the football and see what comes of it.
Jared Browning will now punt. Number 24. He will punt. Here's a boot. End over end kick. He'll kick it away from right, and the ball will go out of bounds. And the Scotties will have by far their worst field position of this game as the punt goes out of bounds at the 18-yard line. And Coach Hines told me that Browning does a good job of kicking away from the return man, and he did it that time. No return on that punt. It carries 28 yards. And the Scotties have it first and 10 at their own 18-yard line. 9:22 left first half. Glasgow 26, Barron County nothing. Let's see if the Scotties have any changes in the backfield. Looks like Channing Twyman returns, and that's Jeff Kingery also back there in the pro set. Mitchell and Jackson are the wideouts. The slot back, Marcus Williams. He's in motion to the far side. Little hitch pass comes to Mitchell. Mitchell tries to cut to the outside. Doesn't have a lot of running room. Good swarming defense by Barron County. They got 3 or 4 tacklers to the play as Mitchell takes it past the 20 to about the 21-yard line. A pickup of only about 3, 2nd and 7. Jared Browning, his third stop. Jared at that quarterback, or actually safety position, has made 3 stops, and that he may be their leading tackler here in the first half.
That was a little screen play there. Marcus Williams went in motion and kind of went out and picked the defensive man, which is illegal to do. Of course, he doesn't touch him, but if he touches him, it's illegal.
Here's a handoff, trying to cut to the outside, but no running room that time for a Glasgow running back. Maybe a yard for Barrett Wright.
Comes up to make the stop for Glasgow.
Wright took the handoff at a left halfback position, Larry. Tried to cut right, but Barron County's defense would have nothing of it. And Chris Duncan, his third stop, the outstanding linebacker.
Well, they made good penetration on the left side that time with Duncan and number 71 Elmore over there. There are some big kids, and number 80 on the end is Brian Simmons.
3rd and 7 for the Scotties. Wideouts on both sides, Mitchell and Jackson. Meadows is a quarterback against the 5-man front. Here's Chad. Pass is incomplete. Good pressure by Barron County defensively, intended for Marcus Williams at the 32. Somebody got a hand on that pass, or maybe a hand on Chad Meadows' hand.
Yeah, it looks like the offensive line may be getting a little tired, or they may be just letting up a little bit because they're letting the Barron County's defensive front move in a little bit now, and they're putting a little bit more pressure on Chad.
Barron County's got to be pleased with that defensive stand. The first time they've stopped the Scotties tonight. Chad Meadows will punt. We've been told that Marcus Britt would, but I think Meadows had the better pregame warm-up putting. So he'll punt from his own 10-yard line. Here's a rush. The kick, high boot. Not very long, but it is high. And it will take a Scotty roll. Now Scarborough picks it up. Did he fumble the football at the 48-yard line? Let's see. The official no ruling. I'm not sure if he touched it or not at the Trojan 47. If he didn't, he came mighty close. The Trojans have the football. I never got an indication if it was actually touched or not. They will have it at the 47-yard line.
Number 42, Steve Pitcock, got on that football. I don't know whether it was ever touched or not. I don't think it was.
Pretty good roll for Meadows that time. 31-yard punt. Pretty good hang time. A short punt, but it did have good hang time. Trojans, good shape offensively. 1st and 10 at their own 47.
It was really underkicked. Barron County's people were downfield, and it almost hit one of them in the back when it made the bounce.
Taylor remains at quarterback for the Trojans. Backfield is in the eye. Wideouts on the near side, Chapman and Scarborough. Scotty's 5-man front defensively. Taylor, handoff comes to the 2nd man. Looks like that will be Crane carrying the football up to midfield on the right side, off right tackle. Crane picks up 3, 2nd and 7. Scotty is getting plenty of faces in this lineup, as is Barron County. Stop made by Marcus Williams, his 2nd. Scotties have scored on 4 of their first 5 possessions, scored on the first play of the game. And an offensive series, Channing Twyman swept 65 yards for a score, and it's been all Glasgow since then. Pickup of only 2, 2nd and 8. Crane has carried the football 5 times for 9 yards. They're in the I formation. Wideouts left and right. Scotties 5-man front defensively. Here's a handoff. Fumble on the play. Let's see, the Scotties have it at the 48. And Taylor was hit when he handed it off to Crane. And Scotty falls on it at the 48. And Marcus Williams pounces on the football. 2nd turnover of this game. And the Scotties have a player injured at the 46. I'm not sure if somebody's got a forward muscle or what. Dr. Bill Mars. Carl Hunter Hunter is down. You hate to see that because he's, of course, had a bad ankle. He suffered an injury against LaRue County.
That's right. He's been limping around on it for a couple of weeks now, and they thought it was getting a whole lot better, but evidently it may not even be the ankle. It may be something else.
WCLU would like to thank the sponsors who bring you Scotty football. Trans Financial Bank, McDonald's of Glasgow, Glass Paving, The Paint Corner, Dr. Chris Stewart did us, the Glasgow Electric Clapboard, Houchins Food Stores, and Square Deal Lumber Company. Our first Ask the Coach program will be in the morning at 8:30, live from McDonald's restaurant. In a few minutes, Larry McAlexander will have our halftime trivia.
That's right. Well, it's getting harder all the time to get these trivia questions.
All right, on Scotty football.
I'm going to have to find the book.
All right. Well, with your great mind, you won't have to do that. And, of course, next week, Larry will start his college football predictions during our broadcast.
He will.
That's right. And we'll let Larry go ahead and predict whether the Atlanta Braves will win the pennant.
Of course, they will.
Hunter being helped off the field, Larry, and, of course, not putting any weight on that right ankle, and you hate to see that.
Yeah, he's a good man on that defensive line, real quick, and puts a lot of pressure on the quarterback.
So the Scotties get their second turnover of the night. They have it at the Trojan 48-yard line. Backfield is split, actually trips to the left side as Meadows drops back. He's being pressured. Meadows trying to get away from pressure. Here's a pass, wide open is Jackson. He's got it at the 33, and it is ruled a catch. It is ruled a catch, and Jackson is down. Boy, he took a hit.
Oh, he gave him that catch. I can't believe that.
Jackson paid for it. He was knocked out of bounds at about the 33-yard line, but he's all right. He's up at about 5 seconds. And boy, who laid a hit on him that time?
I think it was a corner over here, Chapman, I believe, number 7.
That brings the Barron County fans to their feet. Catch ruled for the Scotties, pass completion of 15 yards. Another first down for Glasgow. For the Scotties, that's number 8 at the Trojan 32-yard line. Scotties moving to your right in the second quarter. Barron County to your left. Backfield split. Meadows the quarterback. Wide outs on the left side against the 5-man front. Here's Meadows looking for some room. Drops back. Meadows is going to be thrown for a loss. That quarterback keeper didn't work, and the Trojan defense fired up. Loss of about 6. Play never developed. Now a flag is thrown, and Barron County might be called for unsportsmanlike conduct. And that's the situation. A little too fired up.
Well, you can't let it get out of hand. I mean, it's good to get fired up over a good play, but you can't let it get out of hand because the referees won't let too much of it go.
That play never developed, Larry, on the quarterback keeper.
No, the defensive line for Barron County is really starting to play now, and our offensive line is either, as I said before, getting tired, or they just had a little letdown because of the 26-0 lead.
Barron County's been hurt by 2 penalties after they've thrown the Scotties for losses. And this will give Glasgow maybe not a first down, but very close, as the ball is marked from the point of the penalty, the 38, down to the 23-yard line. And it does give Glasgow first and 10. First and 10 for the Scotties at the Trojan 23-yard line. Bryant Vincent is a split end on the right side. On the left side, Scotty Mitchell. Slight Barrett right and Channing Twyman in the backfield. Here's a handoff up the middle, churning for a little bit of yardage, down to about the 21-yard line. On the fullback blast is Barrett White. 5:50 left, first half. Glasgow 26, Barron County nothing. Well, just a moment ago, the official had ruled a first down. They had moved the yard markers. But apparently, Larry, it was not a first down. It was second and short. So now Glasgow gets the first.
It is now a first down.
First and 10 at the 20. But that's the way the yard markers went. Here is Mitchell in motion to the near side. Meadows reverse gives it to Twyman. He's got it at the 15. Twyman fighting for yardage down to about the 14-yard line. Struggled for about a yard extra. Pickup of about 6. So on the halfback reverse, or flanker reverse, if you may, Twyman picks up 6 before he stopped by Rondo England, his 3rd tackle. So the linebackers, Larry, England and Duncan, have combined for 6 stops.
Now, England's had the last 2. He's getting active out there right now. They're good linebackers, both of them. Duncan and England both can play.
Britt and Twyman. Or actually, that's Barrett White and Twyman. A split backfield. Here's a pass over the middle. Great catch by Marcus Williams. In traffic, has the first down. at the 7-yard line. Boy, that's such a safe pass to run when you've got guys with good hands like Williams and Mitchell.
Especially when you got a 5'9" kid trying to cover him over in Scott Chapman. That's a tall ordeal for him.
That's a mismatch, isn't it? Chapman, his third tackle. 7-yard pass completion. First and goal for the Scotties at the 7-yard line. Again, Glasgow knocking at the door. Wideouts on both sides, Jackson and Mitchell right and left. Now Marcus Britt is in the backfield with Channing Twyman. Meadows against the 5-man front. Here's a handoff to Twyman. He'll try to cut the left corner. Twyman tries to get outside. The flag is going to be dropped. Might be a hold or a clip as Twyman gets down to about the 1-yard line. But the Scotties may see their first penalty of this game. Holding. That will set Glasgow back 10 yards with 4:06 left in the first half. That's Glasgow's first penalty, and that's something that the Scotties have really got to cut down. Over the last few years, they've been penalty prone.
They sure have, and that's one thing this team cannot afford. If they get a good play, they need to keep it. They have to keep their cool and keep their heads and do the right things out there, especially in the heat of the battle.
And especially in the blue zone, the 20-yard line in.
Right.
And so far, they're 4 for 4 in the blue zone tonight. First penalty of this game for the Glasgow High Scotties. First and goal at the 20.
20 to go.
First and goal at the 20. Meadows leads his team up to the line of scrimmage against the 5-man front. Meadows, quick toss, comes to right. Tries to get to the outside, has it at the 15-yard line. On the toss sweep, cuts the corner past the 15 to about the 13 or 14-yard line before he's taken down. Jared Browning's 4th tackle of this game. Browning is a senior. So the Scotties pick up 7 yards. Corey won't argue with that.
No,
want to get about 6 or 7 back on the first down. Second and goal at about the 14-yard line. 3:27 left, first half.
That's a pretty good safe play. We may see Mr. Davis in here and try his first field goal attempt of the year if this play doesn't work.
Backfield in the pro set. 6-man front. Here's a handoff up the middle. No running room at all that time. Well, maybe a yard. Struggling forward for the Scotties. Was it Marcus Barrett White carrying the pigskin? He did. To about the 13. Stop made by Steve Burgess. His second. And a host of other tacklers. Third and goal at the 13. Thus far, the penalty has hurt this touchdown opportunity as we notice Carl Hunter lying down on the sideline, obviously in some pain right now.
I saw him look down to Chad Davis and tell him if this doesn't work, it's his turn.
Chad Meadows drops back. Looks like a passing down. Passes incomplete. Marcus Williams had it and dropped it at about the 6-yard line.
I don't think he would have gone for the touchdown, but he would have been down inside the 5.
Jared Browning may be hurt at the 22. I'm not Browning, actually.
74.
But that's Steve Burgess. He limps off the field. So the Scotties will try the field goal. Now, we asked Mr. Davis over at LaRue County, what is your range, sir? And he told us about 40 to 45 yards.
40 to 45 yards, that's what he said.
Well, this will be a 30-yard attempt, Larry, but it's going to be at an angle. At the left hash mark. It's going to be a tough angle. Ajuan will hold. Meadows will snap. Good snap. Here's a kick.
Oh,
from Davis. Beautiful kick. Good. A 30-yard field goal. And let me tell you what. That could be a critical offensive weapon for the Scotties sometime down the road.
Well, it sure could. We really lacked in it last year, and we still had a great year offensively.
He had about 10 yards to spare on that field goal effort.
Yeah, a fine kick.
30-yard field goal by Davis gives Glasgow a 29-0 lead over Barron County. 2:34 left in the first half. We'll return after this message on WCLU Sports.
Page 2. Hello, Americans. Stand by for news. You've heard some of the reasons why you should pop into Square Deal Lumber Company. Well, now you're going to hear the best of the story. Blue skies and sunshine are telling us to get our house in order, and whether you're remodeling or building from the ground up, Square Deal Lumber Company has got a world of materials, tools, and know-how to guide you through any project, regardless of the size of that job. Square Deal Lumber even has ready-mix concrete at the Horse Cave and Glasgow locations. So from the very foundation to the very top, the eve of your home, Square Deal Lumber Company with 4 great locations has got you covered every time. No national chain can even come close to Square Deal. We're just like all the local people that we deal with. The Kentucky Landmark in Park City, Cave City, Horse Cave, and Glasgow. Square Deal Lumber Company.
Neil Smith took the kickoff at the 8. Somebody blasted him at the 20.
Jason Shaw.
Shaw recovers the fumble. I don't know who gave him the hit, Larry. I don't believe it was Shaw. I think it was an up-back or a defensive end who had gotten up the field. Third turnover for the Trojans.
I think it was, it was an 80. It was somewhere in the 8. Somebody wearing an 80 number. I don't know whether it was Marcus. It might have been Marcus Williams.
All right. He and Chad are the only ones who have 80s that we know of. So Mr. Williams apparently knocks it loose, and Shaw falls on it. 1st and 10 for the Scotties at the Trojan 23. Chad Meadows on the drop. Pretty good protection. Little pass caught by Williams. Good stop, though, by Barron County at the 20-yard line. Only a 3-yard gain. Duncan was there, but I think making the stop was Scott Chapman. For Chapman, his 4th tackle. Little screen pass does pick up about 3. 2nd and 7. Scotties have all 3 timeouts remaining with 1:47 left in the first half. Glasgow 29, Barron County nothing. Trojans hurt by 3 turnovers.
Yeah, it has really hurt them, the turnovers, and they've had a couple penalties come at crucial times also.
Backfield split with Barrett Wright and Channing Twyman. Receivers are split as well as the handoff comes to Barrett Wright. Tries to go up the middle, but brother, he's going nowhere. Good swarming defense by Barron County. Good pursuit at a loss of about a yard or 2 for Barrett Wright. Tried to charge up the middle, but there was no running room at all for Wright. Chris Duncan's 4th tackle. Barrett Wright has carried the football 6 times for 18 yards. Channing 3 times for 87. Marcus Britt 8 times for 34 yards. Chad 4 times for 1 yard, -1. And Jeff Kingery 1 time for 5 yards. 3rd and a long 9 for the Scotties at the 24. Here's Meadows, drops back. Pass is incomplete, and he felt the pressure that time. And you're right, Glasgow's offensive line not protecting Meadows like they did earlier.
Yeah, that was that offside screen. They let him come in from the left side. Somebody probably missed a block on Eric Scarborough over there, and he put the heat on Chad, and he had to get rid of it too quick.
Well, Chad Davis told us he could kick it from 40 to 45 yards. He kicked one a moment ago from 31. This time, Larry, he's going to have his chance. Looks like it's 41. Just about in the middle of the field.
40 yards.
40-yard field goal effort by Chad Davis. He's 1 for 1.
He said this was his limit. We'll see.
All right. Meadows will snap. Yajuan will hold. Good snap. Here's a kick. Oh, it's going to be a line drive. It's going to fall short and to the left. So Barron County's defense, you know, they stiffened a little bit in the last 2 possessions for the Scotties.
They sure have. If it hadn't been for the offense turning the football over, Glasgow wouldn't have a couple of those scores.
48 seconds left in the first half with the Scotties up 29-0 over Barron County. All right, let's get ready for our trivia. That will be coming up here in just a moment. The number to call for our McDonald's trivia, 651-9149. And, of course, if the line is busy, we'll ask you to call back. You could win a free Big Mac meal from McDonald's, and we'll be asking that trivia question in just a moment from Larry Alexander. The number will be 651-9149. Taylor leads his team up to the line of scrimmage. Crane is a single back behind him. Receivers split left and right, Chapman and Scarborough. Here's Taylor, drops back. Pass over the middle, intercepted by Barrett Wright. Has it at the 15, right at the 10, right at the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give him 6. Touchdown, Glasgow. Interception return of about 20 yards. 22. Was it Channing Twyman who picked it off? Let's see. It was Barrett Wright.
Number 15.
It was Barrett Wright who picked it off. And he went 20 yards. 22 yards for the interception return. 4th turnover for the Trojans, and Glasgow leads 35-0. For Johnny Hines, the turnover bug really has hurt his team.
Well, it sure has. That's the 3rd critical turnover that's led directly to Glasgow touchdowns and 1 field goal.
Here's the extra point attempt from Chad Davis. Beauty. It's good. Rather than taking this break, Larry, let's go ahead and ask our trivia question because we want to get the Scotty band on as much of their show as we can during halftime. We will have the band on, and then Randall and Larry will have the offensive and defensive stats for us and the scoring summary. So, and when we come back during the halftime show, we'll find out from Keith Vincent some of the music they'll be playing. But right now, we're ready to play our McDonald's trivia.
All right, here we go.
This is 651-9149.
Last year's Glasgow football team, the Glasgow Scotties of 1991, scored 447 points. The school record is 449 points. They were 2 shy of that mark. Can you tell me what year was the school record for points set by a Glasgow Scotty football team?
One more time.
Last year, Glasgow's 1991 Scotty scored 447 points. 2 shy of the school record. Can you tell me what year that record was set?
Chapman takes Davis's kick at the 15, has it at the 25. Chapman at the 30. Chapman cuts outside at the 40. Chapman at the 41-yard line before he's wrapped up. Great return from Scott Chapman. He's a quality player. A 5'9", 155-pound junior. 27-yard kickoff return from Chapman. They've got it at the 40. Tackle made by Corey Jackson, his first of the night. He's also got an interception. 31 seconds to go in the first half. Glasgow up 36-0 over Barron County. Scotty scored on their first offensive play, and Barron County's defense, I think, has shown some promise in the second quarter, but it's been all Glasgow.
It sure has. It's been all Scotty's. They've had some critical turnovers, Barron County has, and it's really hurt them, and they've had some penalties that hurt them also.
Here's a toss sweep, comes to Crane. Crane has it at the 45. Crane at midfield. Crane at the 45. Crane at the 40. Crane upended at the 41-yard line by a Scotty. Great run by Jeremy Crane down to the Scotty 40 with 3 seconds to go.
Chad Meadows on the top.
Meadows may have saved 6 right there. Crane took off. He charges for a first down, a 20-yard pickup. He's got 29 yards on 6 carries. That's the second first down in this game for Barron County.
Richie Gazeron and
Scotty Mitchell.
Scotty Mitchell into the ball game. Also Sean Livingston into the game.
Sonny Platt and Marcus Britt come out. 3 seconds to go. A Hail Mary pass here, Larry, at the 40.
No doubt about it.
Taylor dropped. They try to pitch back, but it doesn't work as the ball was caught by Chapman. He tried to pitch it back to Crane at the 35, but it went out of bounds. The first half is over. The Glasgow Scotties up 36-0. We'll return in 2 minutes on WCLU Sports.
Glasgow High School is proud to present the 1992 Scotty Tilts and Stills. The band is under the direction of Keith Benson and John Scalia. Drum majors, Scotty Martin, Steve Winfield. This evening's show is entitled Symphonic Rhapsody, featuring the music of Tchaikovsky, Brahms, Copland, and Gershwin. your band ready to take the field for exhibition? Ladies and gentlemen, the Glasgow Scotty Band.
scores of interest. At the half, Russell County 14, Metcalfe County 6. Russellville 7, Logan County 0. Warren East 16, Greenwood 0. Allen County Scottsville 6, Edmondson County 0. Franklin Simpson 6, Todd County Central 0. And in the third quarter, LaRue County 21, Monroe County 6. Statistics. First downs, Glasgow 10, Barron County 2. Rushing yardage, Glasgow 143 yards, Barron County 29. In passing, Barron County has 27 yards, Glasgow 71. Total yards, Glasgow 214, Barron County 56. Fumbles, Glasgow had none. Barron County had 2 fumbles, also 2 interceptions. In penalties, Glasgow was penalized once for 10 yards. Barron County.
Thank you, sir. And Mr. Bruce Trevino.
I want to add that too, Jim. That Bruce really helps me, even though I do most of the talking on the microphone. A lot of times, I couldn't do this without Bruce. It takes a lot of. It takes 2 people to spot where the ball is and what's going on out there on the field and doing the writing them down. And Bruce and I, work well together, and we've doing it for 3 or 4 years now. And we try to get you the information as best we can.
Let me credit Larry. Not only is Larry doing color for us, but Larry is spotting the defense. And let me tell you, that is not an easy thing to do, to spot the defense.
It is not an easy job because Larry had to miss a game. I think it was last year or year before last. I don't remember what. And I had to try to do that, and I didn't do the job that, as you say, Larry McAlexander. He had to change his name since Kaywood retired. He's Larry McAlexander now. So that'd be Little Mac Alexander, I imagine, not Big Mac.
All right. Thanks, Randall. Thanks, Bruce. We will take this time out for one message, see if we have a winner on our trivia, and get ready for the third quarter kickoff on WCLU Sports.
Are you tired of a snowy TV picture? We were too. If you've got cable TV service with the Glasgow Electric Plant Board, you already know how great the reception is, but there were just a few channels we weren't quite satisfied with. We adjusted our antennas, and now the channels that we pick up off the air look even more clear than they did before. You see, with the Electric Plant Board, being just good enough is not good enough for us or for you. You deserve excellent service, and that's what we provide. Call us at 651-8341 24 hours a day for free installation. You will see the difference.
To wait, the Glasgow Scotties travel to Bowling Green. The Purples tomorrow night facing Lincoln County in the Heritage Bowl at L.T. Smith Stadium. The first road game of the year for the Scotties. 6:40 broadcast time next Friday. 7:30 kickoff. Barron County at home. An 8 o'clock start next Friday night for Barron County as they play Greenwood. Greenwood coach Virgil Livers will be inducted into Western Kentucky University's Hall of Fame. That will be at 6 o'clock that night. Thus, they're pushing the game back 30 minutes. Of course, Greenwood winless in its football history. Scotties move to your left in the third quarter. Barron County to your right. Barron County with the option. They'll receive. Here's Chad Davis's kick. End over end boot that will drive Chapman back through the end zone. So Chad Davis, boy, what a big lift he's given the Glasgow Scotties. And Barron County will have it first and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Scotties back home in 2 weeks against an E-Town ball club that's had some kids move in, including a 6'3" quarterback. We know about Corbin. That's enough said on the 18th at home. Russell County First District game on the 25th in Russell Springs. Adair County may be the district favorite on October the 1st. Hart County on the 9th on the road. Bullitt Central, good 4A ball club on the 16th. the other district favorite, Allen County, down in Scottsville on the 23rd. Then we wrap it up with rival Monroe County. Same schedule as last year.
After the first 4 football games, we should be in pretty good shape. If we can get through those at least 2-2, I think we'll be in pretty good shape. That's going to be a tall order, though.
What does Coach Hines look from his ball club in the second half?
A little bit more consistency, especially on defense. Don't make the turnovers on offense, and don't give Glasgow the easy touchdown.
Here's Crane. He's got one man to beat at midfield. Crane at the 45-40, 35-30, and he's tripped up at the 31-yard line on the toss sweep. And Crane gives the Trojan fans excitement. First and 10. A little toss sweep, and here comes Crane down the left sideline.
You wouldn't have thought Chad Meadows could have caught Jeremy Crane, but he did. He made a good effort and had to dive and got his ankles and just barely pulled him down. I thought Crane was going to be gone when he got one-on-one out there with him.
Great start for the Trojans. They started at the 20. Crane moves at 50 yards. First and 10 at the Scotty 30. Crane 7 carries, 79 yards. No changes defensively for the Scotties here in the second half. 6 men on the front line. Here's Crane. Crane that time won't go very far as he slithers inside the 30 to about the 28-yard line off left tackle. Stop made by Barrett Wright, his 4th. Scotty's still with that 5-man front with the bandit backs, Williams and Mitchell. Sometimes you might see a 7-man front. Sometimes you may see 3 linebackers depending on the offensive alignment. Barron Caddy that time was in the I formation. We've seen that more than I expected tonight. The 2nd and 7. And Pitcock is a fullback. Crane is a tailback. Receiver split left and right. Clemens is on the near side. Now he's in motion as Taylor toss sweep. Here comes Crane. Cuts to the outside. A flag is dropped. Has it at the 25. Crane at the 24-yard line, but a flag is dropped. And a clip will be called against the Trojans. And
number
another big penalty.
That was number, I believe it was number, did I say number 30? No, I didn't say 30 on the field.
Yes, Clemens was at a receiver's position, Larry, but I believe the flag was thrown back.
He made a crackback block. He came down the line of scrimmage and cracked back on the defensive end is what the penalty was for. That's a clip.
So a gain of about 5 or 6 yards on the toss sweep is nullified, and once again a little bit of air taken out of Barron County Sales via the penalty route. 15-yard major infraction will set the football back at the 42-yard line. Instead of 3rd at about 2, it will be 2nd down for Barron County at the Scotty 42-yard line. They must reach the Scotty 19, so they have about 22 yards to go for a first down.
When that wide receiver lines up out there, he has to wait for the defensive man to turn on him. He can't go right after him and hit him in the back. It's the same as a clip.
Todd Stevens is a fullback. Here's a pass from Taylor. It is going to be caught for a touchdown for the Barron County Trojans. 42 yards and a beautiful pass. Beautiful catch by Eric Scarborough. And the Trojans on the board trailing 36-6. And Taylor was within a second of being sacked by Marcus Williams, but he got rid of it. And the Scotty secondary left a hole open, and a beautiful route run by Eric Scarborough. There's the home run play that Johnny Hines is looking for. And it's 36-6, and the Trojans score in the first 1 minute and 28 seconds of the first half.
That was just a pass play that it was a post pattern right toward the goal post on the end zone from the left side, and Scarborough just beat Chad Meadows right down the middle of the field. The ball was lofted right over his head and right into his arms.
They'll try for 2. Here's Taylor. Taylor being pressured. The pass is going to be caught for 2. Let's see who caught it on that far side. It looks like that may have been Paul Lee Elmore.
Number 8, that's right.
A 5'10", 185-pound junior. So the Trojans strike quickly here in the second half. And that's good news for Johnny Hines and his troops. 42-yard scoring strike from Kelly Taylor to Eric Scarborough. And the Trojans trail the Scotties 36-8. We'll return after this one message on WCLU Sports.
Dr. Chris Stewart believes in our schools, and with good reason. Even long before he started his dental practice in Cave City, Chris Stewart was involved in school support and activities. He knows that dedication and hard work not only make a great team, but a great individual. Chris Stewart has shown that in his work as a dentist, in his dedication to his community, and hard work as a civic leader. And that's why Chris Stewart continues to support our youth and our community by sponsoring this broadcast, because Chris Stewart knows that the best way to a better tomorrow is to invest in teaching leadership today. Best of luck from Dr. Chris Stewart.
Jay York will kick off. He will not use a tee, and the Scotties expected an onside kick with Glasgow up 36-8. The deep man is chanting Twyman at about the 15-yard line. Now, here's the kick, and it will fall down, and it did not go 10 yards. The Scotties fall on it at the Trojan 48-yard line. I think Marcus Brett fell on it.
Marcus Brett fell on it.
Well, the little onside kick didn't work. He didn't kick it far enough. By the way, Larry, we want to mention our trivia winner, Holly Adwell, and you might have mentioned the question and the answer again.
Last year's team from Glasgow, the Glasgow Scotties 1991 team scored 447 points, which was 2 points shy of the school record of 449, and it was set in 1973 by Randy Hampton and Company. And I believe Mr. Henry Royce was a member of that team also.
All right. Holly Adwell wins the McDonald's meal. Scotties lead 36-8. Let's see how Barron County's defense reacts if they're fired up against the five-man front. Here's a handoff to Wright. He's got some running room at the 45. Wright struggles down to the 43-yard line off left tackle. Pickup of about 5. So if you're the Trojans, you want to stop Glasgow's offense right here, trailing 36-8. 9:53 left in the third quarter. If you're the Scotty offense, although you have a 28-point lead, you want to regain a little bit of momentum.
Yeah, you don't want to get let a lot of that momentum slide by. Even though you've got a 28-point lead, you still got to go out and establish that you're the best team and keep it going.
Pick up a 5 from Wright. Jared Browning comes off the field. I don't know if he hurt a wrist or what, like he was holding his left wrist. Eric Scarborough made the stop, his second. 2nd and 5 for the Scotties at the Trojan 43-yard line. Mitchell's a wide out on the left side. Corey Jackson on the right. Barrett Wright and Channing Twyman split backfield against the five-man front. Here's a handoff to Barrett Wright. Got some running room at the 40. Right at the 35. Fumbles the football. Let's see who's got it. I think the Trojans do at the 32-yard line, and they do. The Trojans have the football, and I think Chris Duncan, the linebacker, recovered it. So here comes Barron County. They've recovered a Scotty fumble. I believe that's Glasgow's first turnover of this game. That's right. 1st and 10 for Barron County at their own 32-yard line. So Barron County has come out to play football here in the second half. And the Scotties better not rest easy.
That's right. They've got to get some of this momentum back, and they had a good drive going right there. Of course, the turnovers killed Barron in the first half, and it can do the same thing to Scotties in the second half if they don't get their act together.
Barron scored on a 42-yard pass a few moments ago. The man who caught that pass, Scarborough's a wide out on the right side, as is Chapman. Backfield, the I formation, Crane and Stevens. Here's a toss sweep, comes to Crane. Crane cuts to the outside, has it at the 40, good at the 45. Great at midfield, good at the 45, good at the 40. 35-30, down to about the 29-yard line, much like the last run he had. They're getting some blocks on the left side of that offensive front. And the Scotties being moved back just a little bit. Let's give Barron County's offensive front some credit. Burgess and Duckett on that left side along with Rutherford opening some holes, and Green accelerates well. Pick up of 38. He's carried the football 9 times for 120 yards. Another first down for the Trojans. 1st and 10 at the Scotty 30. That's their 4th first down. Timeout. Take it by Glasgow High. 8:50 left in the third quarter. The Scotties lead 36-8, but Barron County driving once again.
Well, they're getting that defensive end blocked over there, and the bandit made the tackle that time, which was Michael Allen in that position. That time he had to run all the way from the left side of the field to make the tackle, and they're getting him kicked out outside, and Jeremy Crane made a good move back to the inside, and when he does that and he gets that speed built up, he's a hard little fellow to catch.
We'll hold it here. We'll have scores on other area games coming up a little bit later at our broadcast. Any surprises on any of these halftime scores that we had?
Franklin just up 6-0 over Todd Central. That may be a little bit of surprise. And Russell County only up 14-6 over Metcalf. That's somewhat of a surprise also.
Allen kind of struggling against Evanston County.
Yeah, that's 3 pretty good little surprises. Of course, first half doesn't tell the story. Second half usually the coaches go in and make their changes or whatever and get things done usually in the second half.
Right here at Hank Roy Stadium, the second half has belonged to Barron County. They trail 36-8, but they look like a much different football team. I wonder if the Scotties may be a little tired.
They may be. They have, as you say, 10 players going both ways, so that's not a lot of people going both ways.
1st and 10 at the 30. Here's a handoff to the second man through. Not bad yardage, roaming the left side to pick it his own to the 26-yard line. Paul Lee Elmore, I believe that's the first time he's carried the football. Paul Lee Elmore, a junior at 5'10", 185, plus one tackler. Picks up about 4, 2nd and 6. Brought down by Barrett Wright. Well, actually, we'll give him a pickup of 5. It'll be 2nd and a long 5 at the Scotty 25.5-yard line. Let's see what Glasgow's doing defensively on this set. Looks like a 6-man front. Barrett wideouts on both sides. I formation. Taylor calling the signals. Here comes a toss sweep. Cutting to the outside. There's a flag. No yardage. Maybe a yard on the toss sweep for Paul Lee Elmore. Channing Twyman made the tackle, but a flag in the vicinity of another clip.
That's Scott Chapman lined up out here on the right side and cracked back again and hit him in the back, and you can't do that.
That's going to be their 4th penalty for 58 yards.
That receiver has to come in and seal that man off, and if his back's turned to him, you cannot hit him. You have to wait till he turns towards you before you can lay a lick on him. That's twice that's happened.
Give the Trojans credit the last time. They overcame a penalty for a 42-yard touchdown pass. And the ball will be spotted, I dare say, in the same vicinity, Larry. And it's going to be 2nd and long. And it is put at the 41-yard line. So that's going to mean 2nd down for Barron.
Chad better be waiting for the same play here.
They must get it to the 19, so it's 2nd and 21, actually about 22 yards. 2nd and 22 at the 41. The lone safety is Chad Meadows. The corners, Channing Twyman, and let's see who's on that far side. It looks like Gajuwan. Single back Crane behind Taylor. Receiver split left and right, Scarborough and Clements. Here's a handoff to Crane. Crane's got some running room. Roams up the middle, past the 40, inside the 35 to about the 31-yard line. He really has a quick first step, doesn't he?
He sure does. And that the offensive line that time just let the defensive ends come in, and they kind of made a little triangle right there in the middle, and he was busting right up the guards in the center's tail and got real good yardage.
A 9-yard burst, 10 carries, 129 yards for Crane. He's had a couple of big runs in the second half of 50 and 38 yards. 3rd and about 12. At the 32-yard line for the Trojans. The Scotty 32. Here's Taylor. Quick drop. Taylor being pressured. Pass wide open for the touchdown is, I believe, the Scarborough boy.
That's right.
Beautiful pass by Taylor. He's finding the mark. Looks like Scarborough might be popped down by Meadows, but not so. And it's 36-14. The Trojans have scored twice here in the second half. Their offensive line holding the Glasgow pressure off. They're gaining confidence. They trail by 22 now after trailing by 36 at the half. 6:54 left in the 3rd quarter, and they'll again try for 2. So they overcome another clipping penalty. This pass goes for 31 yards. So Scarborough's caught passes of 42 and 31 yards for touchdowns. Single back behind Taylor is Crane. Here's Crane. Crane fails this time. He caught the pass at the 5, and then he was smacked down by Chad Meadows. Taylor wanting roughing the passer call, but did not get it. 6:54 left, 3rd quarter. Scotty's lead cut to 22. Glasgow 36, Barron County 14. We'll return after this message on WCLU Sports.
Everyone would like their CD's interest rates to go up. So that's why TransFinancial Bank is introducing their new trade-up CD. This is an exclusive CD that allows you to trade it up for a higher rate of investment. When you buy a minimum of a $1,000 CD for 24 months at today's rate at TransFinancial Bank, you've got a one-time option to trade it up for a higher rate when interest rates go up. You can get today's interest rate and more information by calling one of our financial service representatives at the TransFinancial Bank location nearest you. This trade-up CD can only go up and never go down. So take advantage of the trade-up CD at TransFinancial Bank. It'll be music to your savings. Substantial penalty for early withdrawal. Member FDIC.
Here's York's kick, a short one that will be taken by an up back. Now Scotty must follow it. Meadows racing for it at the 32-yard line, and I believe Chad falls on it at that point. So the Scotties will have it 1st and 10 at their own 32. As York Didn't kick it far, but an up back failed to get it. It rolled free, but Meadows fell on it. 68-yard drive after Barrett Wright fumbled the football. Scotties were driving, but here comes Barron County back. 31-yard touchdown pass from Kelly Taylor to Eric Scarborough. Taylor has done a great job here in the second half of passing the football. I dare say he's got close to 100 yards here in the second half. He may not have it. He's got, what, 95 yards, 96 yards. Well, let's see. We'll check this in a moment. 70, he's got 73. Here's Channing Twyman, breaks a tackle, has first down yardage, past the 40 to the 45-yard line. Chris Duncan, one of those to make the stop. His fifth. He recovered a fumble a little while ago. Twyman picks up the first down. Channing 4 carries, 101 yards. Scotties with 11 first downs. First and 10 for Glasgow at their own 44. Backfield in the throw set. Barron County gambling a little bit defensively. As a handoff up the middle. Searching for a hole. Fumbling the football at the 44. Scotty fumbled it. And let's see who's got it.
I think Barrett Wright fumbled and he got it back.
Well, we've gotten no indication from the official that you are right.
Yes.
Mr. Wright fell on it. And there's that.
I'm sorry, that's Marcus Brett.
Marcus Brett fell on it. He fumbled it and fell on it. So it's second and 10. No gain on the play. Boy, had the Scotties lost that football, watch out.
Well, Barron's offensive line, and Marcus and Barrett Wright both are known to fumble ball. Channing Twyman, too. And they're grabbing for the arms as they go through.
Second and 10 for the Scotties. Wideouts left and right against the 5-man front. As Metis, handoff comes to Twyman, has a hole at midfield at the 45, bob it at the 40, bob it at the 35, bob it at the 30. Twyman taken down at the 28-yard line. Paul Lee Elmore saved 6 for the Trojans right there.
He sure did. Channing made a cut inside, made his way through the secondary, and had Paul Lee Elmore right there with him one-on-one, and didn't have enough to get away from him.
Twyman, 33-yard pickup, 5 carries, 134 yards. That's Glasgow's 9th first down by the rush. Overall, that is their 12th first down. Here's a handoff. A little bit of running room, but tripped up near the 25 as Barrett Wright. Had he not been Larry, he had some room down that left sideline. But as it is, he was tripped up. Todd Stevens credited with the stop. Gain of about a yard. Second and 9 at the Trojan 26-yard line.
Well, Barron's defensive front really doing a good job now, and their linebackers are stunning in there. They're coming right in on just about on every play, and that's why Glasgow's gone back to the run, because they've been putting a lot of pressure on Chad Meadows on the pass.
Britt and Twyman are in the backfield. Meadows against the 5-man front. Off sweep comes to Britt. He's got some room at the 25. Cuts up at the 20. Britt carries tacklers with him. Down to about the 18-yard line. He'll be a couple of yards short of the first down, but he does edge closer.
I'll tell you, Chris Duncan's all over the field. He made that tackle there.
He averaged 13 per game last year. He's headed there. He's got 6 here in the third quarter. 4:11 remaining. Scotties lead 36-14, but let me tell you, I've been impressed with Barron County's performance here in the third quarter.
Here in the third quarter, they have played well, no doubt about that. Their offense has really pulled themselves up by the shoelaces and got their act together. They're not turning the football over, and their defense is really coming on strong.
Third and 2. First down and more for Twyman. Twyman at the 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes! Give him 6. Channing Twyman cuts to the outside and scores from 18 yards out on 3rd and 2. And the Scotties now build their lead to a 42-14 advantage. Officially, that run, 19 yards from Channing. I believe that's his second touchdown of this game. He scored on the first offensive play, 65 yards out. He's carried it 6 times for 153 yards. And that gives Glasgow a little bit of the momentum as the Scotties with 3:45 left lead 42-14. Here's the extra point drive from Chad Davis. He hits it. Scotties up 43-14. This drive went 68 yards in about 4 minutes. Scotties up 43-14 over Barron County. We'll be back after this message on WCLU Sports.
Hello, Americans. Stand by for news. Well, not since the Great Depression has America witnessed such a resounding comeback. America is winning again because that's what we Americans do.
we always win. Well, Square Deal Lumber is certainly doing their part in the great American comeback by keeping our prices at a premium low. No national chain that I know of can come close to matching the staying power of Square Deal Lumber. After all, they've been a proud part of this area, a Kentucky landmark, since 1891. Over 100 glorious years of serving you, Kentucky, and Square Deal says it's been a pleasure, too. Square Deal Lumber Company, 4 locations, Park City, Cave City, Horse Cave, and, of course, the Glasgow location. Visit Square Deal Lumber Company, will you?
Reason the Scotty pass rush has been hurt. The injury for Carl Hunter. He's on the sidelines at his street clothes, and he won't play anymore as Crane has it at the 15, Crane at the 20. Crane tries to get to the outside, has it at the 25, looks for another hole. Crane has it at the 30. Crane past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Boy, don't you like the effort from Jeremy Crane? A flag is dropped after the play. And I'm not sure if Glasgow may not be whistled for this penalty, Larry. We'll have to wait and see.
Jeff Kingery made the tackle.
This may be against the Scotties. This may be an unsportsmanlike conduct call. I'm not sure.
Well, there was a fumble, and they had a mad scramble after. Of course, it was late. And it is a personal foul against Glasgow.
That's going to give Barron County great field position near midfield.
I don't know who that was against, but the ball, when he went to the ground, the ball was fumbled and came out, and they had a mad scramble for it. And somewhere in the pile, a personal foul occurred.
2 penalties, 25 yards for Glasgow. The ball is moved to the Trojans' 48-yard line. Now, for Glasgow's defense, they need to get some confidence back to stop Barron County. The Trojans know they need to score again to hang close with the Glasgow Scotties. And they've been able to score on 2 passes here in the third quarter. They've got Scarborough and Chapman set to the left. Taylor calling the signals. He's improved as this game has gone along. Hitchcock and Jeremy Crane are the running backs. Scotty, 6-man front defensively. Taylor, handoff comes to Crane. Crane's not going anywhere this time. That's his shortest gain probably in this half. He got nothing. 2nd and 10. He tried to force it up the middle, but Marcus Williams says, not this time, sir. Williams, his 3rd tackle. He's also recovered a fumble. That is Crane's, actually, that's the first time that Crane has not gotten positive yardage since the very first offensive play for Barron County tonight.
Please move your vehicle.
In this half, he's picked up over 100 yards.
3-1-6.
2nd and 10. Taylor calling the signals. Looks over a 6-man front with the I formation. Taylor, quick pass. Over the middle, pass is deflected. Is it caught? I don't think so. Scotty got a hand on it.
33.
Scotty Mitchell. And did you see Mr. Taylor take a blast that time?
Yes. Mike Allen came from his left defensive end spot and leveled him after just as he let the pass go.
3rd and 10. A little better pass rush from the Scotties that time. What will the Trojans do here? Trying to keep this offensive momentum going, trailing 43-14 with 2:43 left in the 3rd stanza.
I think they're either going to give it to Jeremy Crane, or they're going to put the ball in the air, and since Crane's not in there, I say they're going to put it in the air.
Left and right, the wideouts are. Elmore is the only back behind Taylor. Here's Taylor being chased by Williams, gets away from Williams to pass. Oh, he threw it nowhere. Is it grounding? No, there was not a receiver within 10 yards. Threw it away at the 40. No call from the official.
I mean, there wasn't a Barron County receiver within 15 yards of where the ball hit.
No intentional grounding call there. 2:35 left in the 3rd quarter. 4th and 10. Best pass rush on the last 2 offensive plays for Barron County. Best pass rush from the Scotties all night long.
Yeah, Marcus Williams put the pressure on him that time, and Michael Allen was coming on strong, and he just dumped the ball down and got rid of it.
He got rid of it all right. Here's a snap to Browning. The kick, end over end boot. Looks like Barrett Rott's going to try to handle it, and he fumbled the football. I think he picked it up at about the 22-yard line. I wonder still if the witness on the field might be causing some of these fumbles.
Well, it may be. I don't know. Maybe first game, you know, and not used to it yet, under fire a lot. But Barrett has over the last couple of years in JV games have been known to be a fumbler.
30-yard punt from Browning. No return. 1st and 10 for Glasgow at their own 22, moving to your left here in the 3rd quarter. They lead Barron County 43-14. Barron scored twice in this quarter, the Scotties once. Meadows looks over a 5-man defensive front with the split backfield. Here's a handoff to Twyman. Cuts to the outside, has it at the 25. Has it at the 30, 35, 40. Up to the 45-yard line. A flag is dropped. May nullify about a 23-yard gain. And it will.
Holding?
I believe you're right.
Preliminary signal of holding indicated against.
So that will eliminate a 23-yard gain from Channing Twyman. So the Scotties hit with a big penalty right there, and that's going to back them up deep in their own territory.
Rondell England made the tackle on the play, but it won't count now since we have the penalty and will be moved back.
So for the Scotties, 3 penalties, 35 yards. For Barron County, they've been penalized 4 times for 58 yards. Had Twyman's run counted that time, Larry, he would have had 175 yards. So he's had a good night.
A very good night for his first night he's started in a varsity football game.
1st and 20 for the Scotties at their own 12-yard line. 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
20, Glasgow.
Bryant Vincent wide out on the right side. Backfield is split. Barron County 6-man front defensively. The handoff comes to Twyman, has it at the 20. Channing at the 25. Twyman picks up the penalty yardage and a little bit more as he sweeps to the near sideline.
Leads the charge for the Trojans.
Defensively, Eric Scarborough there to make the tackle. Shattered Westmoreland also helping out.
Scotty Mitchell got a good block on Westmoreland out there and stood him straight up and gave Channing time to get around the corner, and then Scarborough came in and made the tackle.
14-yard pickup for Twyman. 2nd and 7 for the Scotties at their own 25. The clock winding down, 1:20 left in the 3rd quarter.
2nd down, 7.
Again, the Scotties split the backfield also at a slot position as Scotty Mitchell, as the handoff comes to Kingery. Kingery goes nowhere. Tries to vault over some tacklers, but he vaults for nothing. And it's going to be 3rd and 7 for the Scotties at their own 25-yard line.
He ran over his own man that time. Somebody got back and got in a little tangle with Scott Chapman, who's going to get credit for the tackle, but he had to try to jump the crowd and couldn't do it.
Chapman's 5th stop. 45 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter with the Scotties on top of the Trojans, 43-14. 3rd and 7. Mitchell and Vincent are the wideouts. Britt and Twyman are split in the backfield. Chad Meadows calling the signals. Meadows looks like the quarterback keeper. He'll try to race for some running room. Has it at the 30. Meadows at the 35. Meadows has a first down. Cuts to the outside. Slices for more yardage to the 38. Good running by Chad Meadows. He got out of some traffic right there.
That wasn't the called play as the one that we saw in the first half. That was a broken play right there, and Chad just made something out of nothing.
He breaks it for 11. At another Scotty first down, their 13th. 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line.
He and Marcus Britt were having a few words there right before the ball was snapped, and I think Marcus was in the wrong spot for the play that was called, and Chad just took it on his own that time.
7 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Let's see if the Scotties will get the play off. The clock winds down. 3, 2. Meadows does get it off. Here's a handoff to Twyman. Twyman cuts outside, has it at the 40. Twyman is stood up at about the 42-yard line as he tries to turn the corner. And that's the end of the 3rd quarter. Pickup of about 3 by Channing Twyman. Chris Duncan's 7th tackle. So, at the end of 3 quarters, the Scotties 43, the Trojans 14. We'll be back with the final quarter after this one message on WCLU Sports.
It looked like in the first half that they weren't too sharp offensively or defensively, but in the 3rd quarter they've really come alive. Somebody probably had a few things to say in the dressing room at halftime because they've really come back out and had a little fire in them, and they still made a couple of penalties here in the 2nd half that's hurt them bad. But Glasgow's also turned the football over to them too that hurt them. So it's been a game like that, penalties and a lot of turnovers.
As you would expect, a capacity crowd here at Hank Roy Stadium.
Yeah, I've seen bigger crowds, but this is a good crowd. Most of the people on this side, I've seen it all the way around the fence where you couldn't even get anybody standing on it.
2nd and 7. Here's Meadows. Quick pass intended for Mitchell. Oh, beautiful catch by Mitchell at the 44-yard line. Boy, he just lofted it up there like the alley-oop dunk. But Mitchell, instead of dunking it, Larry, makes the catch. The big tight end. Again, you've got a mismatch with their small secondary. And Mitchell hauls it down for a big pass completion down to the Trojan 44-yard line. Covers 15 yards, and the Scotties have it 1st and 10.
They were working on that in practice because they knew Barron County secondary was kind of short with Scott Chapman and Scarborough back there covering Scotty Mitchell and Marcus Williams.
Somebody's injured for Glasgow on the sideline, Larry, but I can't tell who Mike Miller is working on down there. Maybe a muscle pull.
It looks like a cramp. They've got his leg up in there.
And we'll see if we can get that young man's number here.
I guess it's Scotty Mitchell because he's not on the field.
All right. He took a tough hit. As that stop, I believe you mentioned, that stop was made.
Scott Chapman.
Chapman, his 6th tackle. Another 1st down for the Scotties, and they've got it at the Trojan 44-yard line. Glasgow up 43-14. They scored on their first offensive play. They led at halftime 36-0. But we could see improvement from Barron County beginning in the second quarter, particularly on defense. And they were hurt by several turnovers. They did capitalize on a Scotty turnover earlier in the third quarter. Chuck will be passing along scores from area games to us a little bit later in this quarter. And, of course, we'll have the comprehensive post-game report. 1st and 10 for the Scotties at the Trojan 44. They're in the split backfield. Receivers are split as Chad Metas. Quick pitch comes to Marcus Britt. Has it at the 40. Cuts inside. Carries tacklers at the 30. Has it at the 25. Britt down to about the 23-yard line. Great second effort from Marcus Britt, the junior, as he sweeps left. Quick toss sweep to Britt. And let me tell you, he got 75% of his yardage the tough way that time.
Yeah, number 74 hit him at the line of scrimmage. That's Steve Burgess, and he couldn't bring him down. And then he stiff-armed number 37, who is Ronald England back there. And then finally Paul Lee Elmore had to get him.
21-yard gain for Marcus Britt. 11 carries, 62 yards, 15 first downs for the Scotties. They've got it in the split backfield. Kingery's back there with Channing Twyman. Receivers are split against a 5-man front. Here's a handoff to Twyman. Tries to find a hole, gets a little bit of a hole past the 20 to about the 18. He really made something out of nothing. I thought he would be stood up at the line of scrimmage, but he does pick a hole. Rambles inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line. Pickup of about 4. 2nd and 6. Steve Burgess from his tackle position with his 3rd stop. Channing, 9 carries, 175 yards.
It's a great start. I hope he does that all year long.
He's in the backfield now with Barrett Wright, and they're changing the backfield almost every play as Metas. Handoff. Here's Barrett Wright, and I don't know if that was a mix-up, but he's not going anywhere. He was stood up at the line of scrimmage.
Something wasn't right. I don't know what it was.
He and Meadows almost collided on the handoff.
Yeah, he was either lined up too close, got there too quick, or something, or was in the wrong position.
And Barron was there to smell the play out. Loss of about a yard. 3rd and 7. Center of the Trojan line making the stop.
When he says that, that means a host of tacklers.
That's right.
We didn't get the individual.
Right. That's what you call game tackling.
That's right.
3rd and 7. See if the Scotties will pass the football. They've run it a little more than I thought they would.
They sure have. They've run, well, they thought they could run the football against Barron, and that's what they're trying to do.
Pass over the middle, caught by Marcus Williams. Carries tacklers to about the 10-yard line. I think he's got the first down. There's that quick hitter over the middle. Chad stands up, pops it to Marcus Williams, and he's got a Scotty first down at the 10-yard line. Pass, carries 10. So the Scotties, the short passing game, you know, they haven't gone long, but the short passing game has been effective. Steve Pitcock, his 2nd tackle from a defensive end. It's 1st and goal at the 10-yard line.
Well, your speedy receivers, Tommy Burris, Michael Doss, Spencer Botts, not here this year. They could break from anywhere on the field, and this year it's more of a controlled passing game.
Charging inside the 10 to about the 9-yard line. Very little running room on the right side. Comes Channing Twyman. Left side of Barron County's defensive front did a good job. Bondo England, sophomore linebacker. He's going to be a good one. He's been in on 4 stops tonight.
5'10", 175 pounds, and real active.
2nd and goal at the 9. You know, this is interesting right here. The Scotties want to punch it in to get some confidence. Barron County could get some defensively if they could stop Glasgow in a goal line situation. Here's Chad Meadows. He'll roll out to his left. Looks for the pass. It is going to be deflected at the line of scrimmage, almost intercepted by Scarborough. Good pressure by Barron County, and they've gotten to Meadows several times here in the second half and in the second quarter.
It was either 44 or 74 got a hand on that football. It was either Crane or Burgess, one or the other. I couldn't tell exactly which one got a hand on it.
3rd and goal for the Scotties at the 9. 8:57 to go in this game. Glasgow leads 43-14 over Barron County. Mitchell in now at a tight end position on the right side. As here comes the draw of Twyman. Twyman has it at the 7-yard line, but no more. And the draw play doesn't work.
Well, I think he went the wrong way. He's supposed to go on. It's a middle draw, and he kind of slanted to the right side.
The Trojans have a player injured with 8:47 left in the fourth quarter. So he's
got a cramp in his leg, what he's got, just like Scotty Mitchell had a while ago.
Tad Davis, 1 for 2. He hit one from 31 yards, missed one from 40. This one will be from the right hash mark, a 25-yard field goal effort by Davis. His team leads 43-14. Richie Gajuan will hold. Chad Meadows will snap. Davis, a soccer-style kicker, gets ready to boot it. Here's the kick. It looks perfect from here, and it is. At about 15 yards to spare. When was the last time Glasgow kicked 2 field goals in a game? Maybe you ought to ask that for trivia sometime.
It's happened before because I remember it, but it's nice to have somebody that you can go in there over 40 yards in and tell him to go in there and try to kick one and have an excellent chance of making it.
25-yard field goal from senior, or actually I believe junior, Chad Davis.
Right.
And the Scotties lead 46-14 over Barron County with 8:34 left in the final quarter. We'll be back after this message on WCLU Sports. That is, Larry, something that has to make him happy. Glasgow did get something on that drive. Here's a kick. It's fumbled by Chapman back at the, or Scarborough that is, back at the 5-yard line. Picks a hole, gets out of a little bit of trouble at the 15-yard line, moves it out to about the 16. And he was pinned up at the 5, so an 11-yard return for Eric Scarborough. And that's where Barron County will put it into play. But if you can come out of that blue zone with at least some points, that will help your confidence. As Joe Clara, a 6'3", 205-pound junior, number 73, makes the tackle. But that's going to help Glasgow, whereas they've not come out of the blue zone several times in the past few seasons with points. They may be able to do so this year, at least if they can't knock it in the end zone.
Sure has been a sore spot in years past, but maybe we found somebody now that can really kick the football.
Here's Kelly Taylor, drops back. Taylor's being rushed. Taylor almost sacked the pass. Is going to be almost picked off by Baird right at the 25-yard line. I don't know what Jerry Eubank told his line, but the last 2 offensive possessions for Barron County, they've had some Scotties in their face.
I believe that was Scotty Vaughn, number 64, was in on him that time, and then we got number 79 in there also. And
Brandon Ryan. And Brandon's a 6', 210-pound sophomore. And of course, Scotty Vaughn, 5'9", 224-pound junior.
Vaughn's coming out, and Claire went in that time. That's the defensive tackle.
2nd and 10 for the Trojans at the 16-yard line. Single back is Crane behind Taylor. Here's a handoff to Crane. Charges up the middle. Has it past the 20 to about the 22-yard line, maybe the 23. Boy, quick first step. Before you can hit him, he's picked up about 3 or 4 yards. Gate of about 6. 3rd and a long 4 for the Trojans at their own 22.5-yard line. Scotties lead 46-14. 7:30 left in this contest. Next week, Barron County at home against Greenwood, and the Scotties journey to Bowling Green. Big district game next week. Adair County and Allen County.
Yeah, that'll be a good game to see how that comes out. I figure both of those teams are going to challenge us for the district championship.
Taylor's pass was deflected and incomplete at the 29-yard line. It was intended for Scott Chapman. He got a hand on it, then he was knocked down.
There's Channing Twyman.
Channing belted him and knocked it loose. But the ball was deflected at the line of scrimmage by someone.
I didn't see who that was. Jeff Kingery in.
4th and 4, Larry. And I believe Barron County's going to go for it. Trailing 46-14 at their own 22-yard line. 4th and about 4. Again, Crane's a single back behind Taylor. They've got wideouts on both sides. Scotty's 5-man front. Here's Taylor. Pass is going to be incomplete. Good deflection by Corey Jackson. Pass intended for Eric Scarborough. Great defensive play by Corey Jackson.
Corey did just exactly the right thing. He ran step by step with him, and then when the ball was in there, he turned his head back, picked the ball up, and threw his hand up and knocked it down.
I think Sean Livingston will be the quarterback now for the Glasgow Scotties.
Number 12, right.
Sean, a 5'11", 160-pound junior, has some ability. Didn't play last year.
Well, Sean's a good athlete. He's also playing a little receiver, and he's a backup defensive man, so he's going to get some playing time before the year's over.
Scotties have it at the Trojan 22-yard line. Timeout called by Glasgow High. Scotties lead 46-14. We'll be back after this message on WCLU Sports. For Glasgow offensively, and we'll see if Barron County's got any changes as well. Join us for Ask the Coach live from McDonald's restaurant tomorrow at 8:30. We'll talk with Johnny Hines and Coy Meadows about this game. Now, we have a few changes, Larry.
Brandon Ryan's in. Casey Thomas is in. Kevin Wheeler's in at the Chad Ryan's in at the receiver position. Richie Gajerone is in the backfield. Marcus Britt in the backfield along with Kevin Wheeler.
Michael Bragg, I think, is in.
Michael Bragg's on the line, that's right. And Sean Livingston is the quarterback.
Livingston, backfield split behind him, as are the receivers. Here's a handoff up the middle. Pretty good running room. Is that Marcus Britt with the football?
Yeah.
I think so. Rollins past the 20, inside the 15, down to about the 10-yard line. I've been impressed with Marcus Britt.
Marcus Britt can run the football. He's gained a lot of weight over the last couple of years.
A first down for the Scotties. In fact, they've got it first and goal at about the 9-yard line on the left side. Britt, 12 carries, 75 yards.
I mean, Britt, he was about 160 pounds last year, and he's over 200 this year.
William Elmore's fourth tackle. Sean Livingston, the junior, at the quarterback position. Here's a handoff, Britt. He may go all the way, 4-6. He does, and he broke 2 tackles in doing so. Marcus Britt scores, and the Scotties lead 52-14 with 6:36 left. For Britt, officially, a carry of 10 yards. Scotties up 52-14. Glasgow with 3 pretty good running backs. Wright, Britt, and Twyman.
Yeah, they do a good job. If they keep the ball off the ground, they do a better job.
They have combined, those 3 have combined for almost 300 yards. And here's Chad Davis hidden to attempt the extra point. Meadows will snap. Gajuan will hold with 6:36 left in this game. Barron County sends a rush. Here's a snap. Here's a kick from Davis. Good. 6:36 left. Glasgow 53. Barron County 14. We'll return after this message on WCLU Sports. Barron County turned it over on downs, and Marcus Britt did most of the work. Here's Chad Davis set to kick. Barron moving to your left in the final quarter. Glasgow to your right. High, beautiful end over end boot. Crane will take it at about the 10-yard line. Has it at the 15. Crane at the 20. Crane at the 25. Crane cuts against the grain at the 35-yard line. Crane down at that point. Boy, he sees the field well. He shifts very well, doesn't he?
Oh, he's an extra. He got excellent quickness. He's about like Tommy Burris was when he gets out in the open field, and one man just about won't get him.
25-yard kickoff return. Michael Black, 5'8", 172-pound sophomore with the tackle. 53-14. Larry, good performance for the Scotties. Barron County, though, again, has played much better in the second half.
They have. They played real well in the second half. First half was a disaster, and I'm sure they'll tell you that. And Glasgow scoring, I think, the first 3 times they had the ball. First 4 times they had the ball. 3 times in the first quarter and the first time in the second quarter.
Let's see now. We have a change for Barron County at quarterback. That's Jason Shirley. Jason Shirley, number 10, is the new quarterback. 5'9", 170-pound sophomore. Here's a toss sweep to a new running back, Corey Profit. Cuts to the outside, has it at the 45. Profit at the 50. Profit into Scotty territory on the toss sweep at the 48-yard line. Corey Profit, a freshman. Profit, number 26. 6 feet, 170 pounds, a freshman. Pretty good speed as he turns on the afterburners. Richie Gajuan makes a stop. Richie's 3rd of the night. So Profit carries a pigskin, 18 yards at a first down for the Trojans. Stops the clock with 5:46 left in this game. Let's see if the Scotties have any new faces defensively.
Well, Brian Vincent is in the secondary along with Gajerone. Kevin Wheeler's on the left corner. And Marcus Britt is a linebacker in the middle.
Here's Shirley. Handoff. Pushing the football past the 45 to about the 43-yard line. I believe Profit carries it again on the right side. Off right tackle.
Kevin Wheeler comes in to make
Profit carries it for about 6 yards. 2nd and 4 at the Scotty 43.
Well, Kevin Wheeler on the tackle.
5'3", 120. Sophomore. Hey, you've got to give him credit for playing.
You sure do.
All right.
2nd down.
2nd and a long 4. They run it out of the eye. 2 receivers split to the right. Scotties have a 7-man front defensively. Shirley calling the signal. A sophomore quarterback. Long count. Here comes a toss sweep to Profit. Profit is belted for no gain back at the 43.5-yard line on the toss sweep to the left. That's Barrett Wright. Barrett has really had a good defensive game, hasn't he?
He has. He plays that middle linebacker really well. He's coming out of the game now. Number 44 is in.
3rd down 5.
Loss of about a yard, or really no gain on the play.
We're now into the freshman, and we don't have any names, so you can just call him number 44 is in the game.
Well, we will check on that and make certain we have that roster for the next game. That is not on the regular roster for the Scotties, but we'll hang with us on this. The backfield is in the eye. Here's a handoff, and Profit pulls his way down to about the 41-yard line, but he's going to be 2 yards short of the first down. Let's see who made the stop for the Scotties.
Number 73, Joe Clare. 6'3", 205 junior.
McNabb makes the hit.
McNabb also there for the Scotties. And I think Michael Bragg was in the vicinity.
Somebody saw it different than I did.
But we'll give these guys, even if they were, within, say, 5 yards, that's close enough. 4th and a long, well, actually about 3 yards. A ball spotted back at the 42.
Jeremy Poland, number 67, is in at a defensive end on the right side.
5'8", 160 sophomore.
4th down 3.
4th and 3 for the Trojans. Shirley calling the signals. Got a single back behind him. So, no, now they'll get to the punt formation. Low kick. That will bounce at about the 21-yard line. Jay York punted it. Thought they might go for it, Larry. In Scotty field position, but not so. 3:28 left in this game. Scotty's up 53-14. York's punt with the bounce carries 20 yards. No return. Scotty's have it 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Ball spotted at
next week, Purples and Bowling Green. They've got Shakir Gatewood, a great linebacker. Brandon Jewell, a great offensive lineman. They've got Jay Burr, a speedster at quarterback. They did lose Lehman Boyd. I think he's at UK now.
Right.
They've got a Taylor kid that caught that big screen pass against the Scotties for about 80 yards last year that got them going. They lost all their secondary from last year. But Dan Ailey, you better believe he'll have his team ready. They were seconds away from going to the state championship last year.
Well, last year I thought they were the best football team that we played up in, well, maybe all year long.
Better than a Corbett or LaRue County, probably.
I think so. And this year may not be any different than last year. I think Bowling Green always has an excellent football team. And they just seem to get the players out, and they're always well prepared. And they'll be a formidable opponent, I'm sure. And I think they're ranked 4th in AAA, and we're ranked 4th in AA. And we'll find out tomorrow night really how good they are. Lincoln County should give them a good test tomorrow night.
Timeout, Barron County. One thing that helps Glasgow, Larry, I think, with their tradition against some of the other AA teams in our district and really in this part of Kentucky, Glasgow's built a tradition, and they are able to get a tougher schedule.
Well, I think you're exactly right there. The teams in our district really do not have a tradition for football. Glasgow has always been the traditional football school in this district, with the exception of Russell County coming in. They've always had pretty good football programs, but nothing up to the par that Glasgow has had over the years.
Scotties with E-Town, Corbett, Russell County, Bear County, Hart County, Bullitt Central, Allen County, Monroe County on the schedule.
And the schedule is, Coy, that's one thing he's always done, is try to get a tough non-district schedule, and he's done it again this year, of course.
Livingston sets the ball club down. Receiver split left and right. Backfield is split. Here's a handoff. Looks like Wheeler's got to carry the big skid. He's not going to carry it very far as he's dropped at the 20-yard line.
Number 51 on the tackle.
Evan Wheeler stopped by Anthony Marshall, a 6'3", 200-pound sophomore. Well, what must Johnny Hines do to get this team ready to play Greenwood next Friday night?
Well, I think he's got to get some enthusiasm into him like he did at the start of the second half. I don't know what he told them, but if they come out and play that way, I think they'll probably handle Greenwood pretty good.
Loss of 2, 2nd and 12. It's Livingston calling the signals. Vincent, the wideout. Now he's coming off the field. Did it kind of slowly, didn't he? Here's a handoff, punching it up the middle past the 20 to about the 24-yard line is the fullback for the Scotties. That looks like a new face in the lineup, and that is number 44. And we'll have to see who's carrying the football.
Number 32 made the tackle, Kenny Sutton.
Kenny Sutton, and we'll see if we can catch that name. That player's name is not listed, that number is not listed on the roster. And that happens when you get some of the freshmen in. 3rd and 7. As Livingston leads his team up to the line of scrimmage. 5-man front defensively for the Trojans. Here's a handoff to Wheeler. Wheeler cuts outside, has it at the 30. Wheeler at the 35. Wheeler at the 40. Wheeler at the 43-yard line. Kevin Wheeler has the first down for the Glasgow Scotties. Good effort by Wheeler. All 120 pounds chugging down the field.
John Michael Clemens, a freshman on the tackle for Barron County.
Wheeler picks up. Glasgow 53, Barron County 14. Scotties led at halftime, 36-0. Kelly Kearney is number 44, by the way, and he's got the football. Slams it past the 45 to about the 49-yard line. Kearney's a good athlete, very good baseball player. Kelly Kearney. Charges for 5, 2nd and 5.
I knew I'd seen him before, and he looked familiar standing out on the field, but I couldn't, with a helmet on, you can't tell who it is.
A bit at 40 left, so Kelly Kearney carried it for 5, actually for 6 that time. 2nd and 4 around midfield. Livingston, backfield split, pro set, receiver split as well. The handoff comes to Wheeler. Here comes Wheeler at midfield. Wheeler cuts outside at the 45. Wheeler at the 40. Wheeler at the 35, 30, 25, 20, 15. Wheeler taken out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. Boy, Wheeler wasn't far from a touchdown.
He almost broke it. Jason Matthews on the tackle, number 12 for Barron County.
So Matthews from that defensive secondary saved to 6. 5'10", 150-pound junior is Matthews. 1:17 left in this game. At the 15, the Scotties have it. Wheeler gained 36 yards. He's carried it 3 times for 54 yards. Here's Livingston leading the team up to the line of scrimmage with 1:06 left. Livingston, handoff. Wheeler tries to pick a hole. Wheeler chugs it inside to about the 11-yard line. Scotties will probably have time for 1 or 2 more plays, and this game will come to an end. 50 seconds left. Glasgow 53, Barron County 14.
They'll probably run maybe 1 more play. They may get 2 off.
2nd and 5. Wheeler, not a bad night for Mr. Kevin Wheeler. 4 carries, 59 yards.
That's a career for Mr. Wheeler.
30 seconds to go. Here's Livingston. Backfield split. Livingston, handoff, comes to Wheeler. Wheeler tries to cut outside. Oh, he's blasted at about the 8-yard line, and that will be the final play, I'm sure, of this game. Someone gave him a good lick over there.
Number 46, and that's Dwayne Butler, another freshman.
5'10", 150. The clock counts down, pickup of 2, 3rd and 3 at the 9-yard line in Trojan territory, but the clock counts down. That will be the final play of this game, and the Glasgow Scotties will defeat the Barron County Trojans 53-14. The Scotties beat the Trojans 53-14. So Glasgow is 1-0 on the year, and Barron County is 0-1. The Scotties will head to Bowling Green next Friday night, and Greenwood will come to Barron County High School. The coaches and the players shake hands near midfield, and the Scotties win 53-14. We'll return after this 2-minute timeout on WCLU Sports.
On Glasgow, you're already one of the...
Have you injured yourself playing a sport or exercising? Sports medicine experts at TJ Regional Health are trained to get you back on the road to recovery, whether you're dealing with sprains, fractures, knee and shoulder injuries, or other common injuries. Our goal is to prevent illness and injury in active individuals of all ages and help prevent future problems to maximize your performance. Find out more at tjregionalhealth.org/rehab. Patients first, team always. TJ Rehabilitation Services.